and she had the biggest one I've ever seen. It
Really?
was cool. Oh,
only one.
Yeah, I know. I know. That's what I thought. Yeah, I had to carry the other one in a bag.
Ah, that's right.
Yeah. But anyway, we'll have to stop talking about that now because we're live. It's Monday night. It is Monday night, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty sure it's Monday. Yeah.
I think so. It feels like Monday.
Yeah, it's Monday, the 21st of January, 2019, not 1919.
No.
Well, we've moved on a year since we've moved on 10 years.
100.
100 years.
Many years.
Many years since last week. To the eModels live stream. Welcome, everybody. Welcome once again. Monday night, eModels live stream from Ted. Ted here at eModels.co.uk. Yeah, got that bit right. Also with us this evening, we have Chris. Good evening, Chris. How are you?
Good evening. Hello, everybody in TV watching Internet Land.
Yeah. The other person we have with us is Fox. Good evening, Fox.
Hello. Today in 1813, pineapple was first introduced to Hawaii.
From where?
I don't know, a place.
And did they immediately put it on pizza?
Yeah, of course they did, because it's correct.
Did they put it on gammon?
No, you put it on gammon. Yeah, you can put it on gammon, but you can't put it on pizza.
You can put it on pizza, and it's nice on pizza.
You can, but it's wrong.
You can, but it's correct.
But
You're a southerner. You don't have any knowledge about taste of things.
No.
So they introduced pineapple to Hawaii. What? Did somebody walk with a pineapple?
Hawaii, pineapple, Hawaii.
Ride a horse.
You stick yourself in the ground over there and get yourself growing.
Get settled in.
When they said they introduced pineapple, did it mean a pineapple or a pineapple tree?
Tin of pineapples.
Tin of pineapples.
But it was a tragedy because it was another 100 years before they introduced tins of carnation.
Oh, I thought you meant it was 100 years before they introduced the tin opener.
Yeah, well, there was that as well.
Well, thank you for that useless.
Well, we're going to drag that really not particularly good joke out of
Sergeant Bones says it's called Pizza Hawaii here in Germany.
All right.
So,
pineapple, yeah.
Yeah, pineapple pizza approved.
Sergeant Bones says a bush, not a tree. I thought pineapples grew on trees.
No, they grow on a bush. It's coconut.
Doesn't the song say about shaking a tree or something?
That's for the coconut to fall out.
Oh, it's coconuts, not pineapples.
Push pineapple, shake a tree.
Push pineapple, shake the tree. Yeah, well, that's a different tree. You can't push a pineapple if you're shaking a tree.
Oh.
Copyright. Okay.
What's the difference I know what the difference is between a bush and a tree, but if a bush gets tall enough, is it classed a tree?
It's just a big bush.
But yeah, you can get them bonsai trees.
Yeah.
They're tiny.
They're not bushes.
I've killed many bonsai trees in my time. I've not got a good record.
Yeah. Anyway, continuing. Yeah, welcome Monday night. It's live stream time. It's your live stream. All you have to do is talk away in chat and send your questions and topics for discussion to Ted at eModels, emodels.co.uk.
As always, don't forget that we depend on you in the chat to give us things to talk about. If you can't see the live chat, I can see it's just there. If you can't see the live chat, you're probably watching somewhere that's not on YouTube. So make sure to click the little YouTube icon that's down here somewhere, or down here somewhere in the corner, somewhere down there. Click on the little YouTube symbol, and that will take you magically to the YouTube page where you can see the live chat. If you want to ask a question, put it in big fat capital letters so we have a chance of seeing it. If you want to have a real good chance of us seeing your question or comment, you can do a super chat, which is the little dollar symbol at the bottom of the chat window. That will put it in a little coloured box so we can't miss it. But if you're on a device that you can't just see the chat at all, you can't join in the chat, you can, just like Ted says, send a question into ted@emodels.co.uk with any questions you want to ask us. It can be about model making or anything else. It doesn't have to be model making. If you're a regular to the show, you know we don't talk about model making much. You can ask anything you want. You can just do a shout out if you've got an event going on, or you want your better half to forgive you for something that you did that you shouldn't have done, or spilled somewhere that you probably broke. It's probably your fault, so there's nothing we can do to help you, but you can try anyway. You can send a shout out. And don't forget, of course, we'll do some sticker giveaways later on. If you send us a question and the answer, and we read the question out and the answer and use it to give a sticker away, we'll give you a sticker.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And just on that word about shout outs, I did notice on the eModels Facebook page today there's a new member to the team. So if Andrew's watching, Andrew, who's working at the eModels store now, his picture appeared on Facebook this morning with a huge stack of kits. Welcome.
Oh, do we need to go down to eModels store?
We need to have a trip to
Let's go and meet you up.
eModels.
Is it Andrew Mate?
It's Andrew Mate, yeah. Do we need to assess? Do we need to assess Andrew Mate's coffee making skills?
Yeah, so we'll be down. Yeah, so
because James Mate's good at coffee making. Gav Mate is all right. It's a bit. If it's first thing in the morning on a Monday, he's not in the best shape anyway.
No.
Pete Mate's skills at coffee making are, I've no idea because it's never actually happened. I don't think.
Yeah, he always delegates.
Yeah.
John is just too busy to make coffee.
Well, because everyone else is making coffee, so
they just need coffees made for them because they do all the hard work.
Yeah, they do. So yeah, so good. Yeah, so anyway, speaking of models and things, what have you been doing this week, Fox? Anything?
This week I was putting the finishing touches to my Strike Rouge Ootori, or my Strike Mauve Ootori, which I can't show you because it's gone to the new owner. It's on its way to the US now. It's gone. So that's on its way. That's it really. I've got that finished off.
Was it that big that you had to buy it a seat on the airplane?
I actually managed to pack it in quite a small box, under 2 kilograms, which was quite nice on the old saving money.
Has it not got wings on it? It could go itself.
No, it got wings. It had wings on it, which meant it was a pig to pack. I'm still hoping it gets there in one piece. But other than that, I've not actually started on the U-boat yet. I was hoping to get the U-boat started towards the end of last week, but I didn't get a chance. So that's going to happen this week at some point.
Good. Yeah. Chris?
Well, nothing to show off, I'm afraid. Apart from
What have you been up to this week, Chris?
I have been doing some stuff. I've been doing some fun with C1 metallizer powders. I'm not going to touch it because I haven't got my gloves on, but it's in there. Hopefully I can catch the light right and you'll see it shining.
You have to make the anime shine sound.
Bing! Oh, sorry. You can do the noises for me here. I don't know if it's locked on me or if it's going to go at you when you make the noises.
It is, don't worry.
Yes, so that's been C1'd all over, including the underneath side.
Ooh.
Underneath side. And the other one that is the same, I've just done the underneath side because the top of the other one's going to be done in brown and green camo.
So you were just rubbing its under area?
I was just rubbing its undercarriage. Actually, I haven't fitted the undercarriage yet because I figured it's a lot easier to polish without pointy out bits. I've got to do those as well because there's little bits of the hatch cover things and stuff like that. So I've got to do all them and then attach them later because I didn't leave them on there for now. But yeah, it's coming along. It's getting there. Obviously, the first video has been up for a couple of weeks now. The second video is in progress of being filmed as and when I get a minute to go and do a bit more on it. So, yeah.
I was asking you where the twiglets are.
Where's the twig? I ate the twiglets. I told you that they sent me out to get snacks and drinks before the chat started. And I got them, but then I just ate them because they were there.
Are you telling me they're twiglets that I was not made aware of?
You weren't here at the time. You were otherwise occupied.
Oh.
Yeah, I would have thought you would have smelt the twiglets.
Well, not if they went that fast.
No, they were opened and then they were gone. I'm not allowed to have twiglets around the house long because the wife doesn't like them. So any open twiglets have to be consumed quite quickly.
How can she not like twiglets?
Because she doesn't like Marmite.
How can she not like Marmite?
I don't know. I've got this theory that in the average relationship, half of the people do like Marmite and half of them don't. And there's some sort of pairing that goes on at the, you know.
Is that how you know that it's a good match then?
It's a good match if you
both of you like Marmite, hate Marmite.
Yeah. They say opposites attract and stuff, don't they? So, and she likes peanut butter and I don't like peanut butter. So it works.
Okay, that kind of balances out.
Yeah.
Good.
By the way, just so everybody knows, my Google Hangout's being weird, so do let me know if it seems to be locked on me or not if you're in chat, because it's at my end it looks like it's on me all the time. But I don't know if you guys are getting it to the other people. So when Ted and Chris are talking and if it stays on me, do let me know in chat and I'll have to do it manually.
Unless you like it that way. And then
well, yeah, true.
Yeah, my internet connection to go a bit loopy yesterday on my live stream, as it has done previously. But if I do disappear, I haven't really gone anywhere. I'm still here, but I'll be back. But
my computer decided it wanted to do one of those silly updates that it does every now and again, and you know the result of that. It usually wipes everything out and never to be seen again. But it seems to be holding up so far. But bear with us. So if anybody drops out and if there's just one of us here, we'll keep it going as long as we can.
It's locked on me apparently, so I'm going to have to ride the controls all night. Ugh.
Woohoo. Well, apparently, I don't know. I mean, for us, it does seem to be switching between. I'm getting Fox and Ted.
Well,
not me at all. But
okay, well, I shall remain quiet, and I will. They're saying it's changing now because I'm pressing the buttons.
Video is sticking on, Fox. It was okay, but not changing now. So it was okay, but not changing now. But now it should be changing if he's pressing the buttons and changing.
I've got to press the buttons all night, basically.
Yeah, so wear your finger. I wonder if it's you that will have to. I'll have the button next week. We'll see if it works.
Yeah.
I would offer to have the button, but if my internet keeps dropping out like it has been, then that's probably not a good idea.
Yeah, probably not best. Yeah, we can't trust you to have it because the whole.
No, I've got really quick internet. I phoned them up and said, "You do a slightly faster internet than the one I'm getting. Can I have that, please?" And I think according to the adverts, it was like £5 a month extra, and it's like, I can pay £5 a month extra for getting slightly quicker internet, and it's got double the upload speed and everything else. And they went through it all and said, yeah, that's okay. That'll be £40 a month less for the first year, and then £30 a month less than you're paying at the moment for the future. It's like, and it's getting exactly the same as I'm getting now, but faster, but less. And they're like, yeah, that's right. I said, okay, I think I'll sign up for that then, please.
Yeah, you did send me an email who that's by. What else? Just go through the chat. People are talking about buying pizza because we've mentioned pineapples and they're blaming us now. The submarine, I've been doing the submarine. Yeah, part 10 is on the way, folks. The submarine has been developed since last week. There's a lot coming on. One or two people had a sneak preview. I won't be able to show you on the live stream tonight because it's huge and it's over there.
I have to say, Ted, I do have to say that when you showed us the U-boat earlier on, and it's on that nice little side cupboard thing there, all delicately on the stand, model making chicken's going to destroy it. You probably want to put it somewhere safe.
I think model making chicken's in it somewhere. I just can't find it.
Has she not been around for a while? Has she disappeared?
No, she's out the back, quite happy out the back, plodding up and down. We see her from the kitchen window. She doesn't manage to get into the house as much now, mainly because it's wet and horrible, so she stays all snug in her coop. But she's still around.
When are we going to get her on camera again? Your public demands at model making chicken.
We'll get her an appearance one evening, maybe as the nights draw out. We'll get an appearance of model making chicken before she goes to bed.
Just being thrown across the camera. A lot of people in chat saying it's cold. I was cold tonight. I've put my jacket on actually. I was a little bit chilly, so I thought I'd wear my jacket tonight. Mark Dale said he just had some snow coming along the A41. But other people are saying they haven't had any snow. But I had like 4 or 5 flakes of snow last week. But that was it. But it's been cold enough today. It could have easily done it.
I was reading with some amusement the utterly pathetic Express and Mail, with just utterly nonsense newspapers for the last couple of weeks have been doing their doom and gloom apocalypse stories, which are all complete nonsense. And there was one the other week, and it said something like, it started off by talking about all the 3-meter deep snow drifts in Germany and parts of Europe and Turkey. It's like apocalypse, everybody's dying. It's like snow, cars are buried, schools are collapsing, and it's going to happen here in Britain. And then there'll be snow, and we're going to get 2 centimeters.
That's terrible. That's enough to shut schools and.
Yeah, like all the drama at the start, and what you end up saying is we're going to get a little bit of snow like we always do.
Yeah, but there'll be 2 centimeters of snow. The country was shut down. They'll be doing live news reports from outside airports that are closed, and sort of gritter bays where a guy stood there thinking, "Get out of the way! I'm trying to fill this gritter." So it'll be the usual sort of Great British shutdown.
Yeah, well, we've actually been all right. We're in the northwest and we've had no snow whatsoever. And I'm sitting here in my t-shirt. It's quite mild this year, to be honest. There's things in the garden flowering that shouldn't be flowering. So
Yeah, I know. Yeah, we've got snowdrops coming up, but the chicken's eating them as fast as they're growing. So,
Sprue Addict says, Fox, instead of pressing the button to swap camera all the time, why don't I just mind what Chris and Ted are saying?
Yeah, that'd be good. We can do that.
Creative dance.
What I should do is just get 2 glove puppets. And
Smooth's in. He says he's got his broadband back. So Smooth is still with us.
Welcome, dude. You're going to go through who's in store?
I just thought about that. I'll have a quick look through. I'll start at the top. Or the top, according to my computer, that says Sergeant Bones was in saying exactly. Is the first thing that I've got in my chat.
Exactly.
I don't know exactly what to, and we'll never know now.
Who's Accrington Stanley? Exactly.
I don't know. Then he said 90 minutes still. We'll be out of refreshments soon. Hence, this is where it all started with the Twiglets, you see.
Just before it disappears off the top of the street, I spotted a fantastic name there, Nana Sunrise from Canada.
I noticed that down the bottom there, yeah.
Yeah, from Canada.
Oh, yeah. Canada. Hang on.
Yeah, she said lots of snow in Canada.
Canada, eh?
What a great name, Nana Sunrise.
I've got to wear my Canadian flag now in my hat all night, haven't I?
All night because we.
Is that where Dave Carbod and Brian Windmill go for the word on the streets? The
word on the streets in Canada, yeah.
That's going to get annoying after about
now. Yeah,
about now.
Right, so in the chat tonight, apart from Sergeant Bones, who was here, I don't know if he's still around. Nobody knows where Sergeant Bones goes. We have sorry,
Paul Tommaso is in chat. Sent me some maple syrup, proper Canadian maple syrup, and oh my goodness,
have you finished it yet?
Have I been drinking coffee with Canadian maple syrup all for the last 2 days?
Have you finished it yet? You've run out of it now.
I know, but I'm going to be sad when I do. So everybody used to send me like hundreds of liters of Canadian maple syrup. Don't send me.
So in the chat, we have one of our mods is in, Dad. That's Mike Mountain. Me, Sergeant Bones, and Dad were talking a little while ago, and then it went quiet. We have Lord Barkley, Sergeant Bones, Lord Barkley. Kieran Keith's in, saying hello all. Michael Jackman says, hi all, I'm here, in capital letters, in case we missed him. I don't know. eModels is there, Phil Kett, Ickle Pete, Christopher C., Paul Meatballs, Brian Windmill, as we said, Brian, me, Bones,
Brian, 3 Brians.
Adam Wayne, Brian again, Rusting Customs, Luke, Michael, Osric, Gary Pashley, Addy, Phil, Anders, Adam, Mark, Stephen, Jamie, Nicholas. Now Sunrise, as we mentioned already. Names that I've already said: Phil, Model Officer, Spids in, Mark, Phil, AJ, Mark. Oh, just Mark, not Mark Dale. There's also just Mark, just to be confusing, because if I don't read out the full name, you won't know who I'm talking about. Colin at Festa 67's in as another mod.
Where's Sergeant Bones?
I don't know. I'm sure he's been around. Nettie is in. Nettie Voyager. Mark, Paul Tomasio, as you said. Jamie, Adam, Shadowland Scale Models. John's in. Andrew, I'm pretty sure I've already said them. Brian, I haven't seen Dave Cardboard yet, but I don't know.
We've got a windmill going, haven't we?
We have windmill, but no cardboard.
We've got half of the police duo.
Bruce Reese is in. RJC Models. Norman.
Kenneth's in, and he says, hello, Fox and Ted, and oh, the little bloke.
Yep, I just got down to Kenneth, and I just said, hello, Kenneth, from the little bloke. Yep. That's it.
Cool.
Yeah, I'm up to date now. I'll go and have a nap and a little rest.
Mark Dale says that my maple syrup made him make pancakes on Sunday morning. Ooh, I did live stream and I had maple syrup.
Pancakes, isn't it? Oh, yeah, be February soon, won't it? Pancake day.
Oh yeah. And Michael Jackman says pancakes with maple syrup, yum yum.
Oh.
All I can see out the corner of my eye is this little bit of this thing sticking out. It's like,
yeah, you put your eye out with that, you know.
I put it at the side there, and then it's not quite as invasive.
You're just going to keep looking over your shoulder like that.
Whoa, what's that thing?
Michael Jackman mentioned they started to rebuild the waterways at Great Yarmouth. He might be tempted to join the Model Boat Club and get their old MTB out. Ooh. Yes, well, yeah, I had a scratch-built MTB, and it was a killing machine. on the lake because it was camouflaged, and you just lose sight of it. So you have this model boat, 2 foot long, lose sight of it at full speed.
Was it a duck hunter?
All I did hear was crunch as it rammed somebody's boat.
Did you make it with a proper hardcore metal?
Yeah, it's balsa wood, but it had a pointy bow, so yeah, crunch. Yeah, came out best.
Jamie Bone says, "Is it bad to like pancakes with pineapple?"
No, it's fully acceptable.
That's probably better than pizza. So,
yeah. No, don't know actually. Pizza or pancakes? Oh, depends. If it's a stuffed crust pizza, then pancakes are off the menu. We have a proper question. Bruce Richardson asks, "Evening all. What's a good spray booth to buy?"
No,
and I have ready a number for him to look up. On the eModel store, Bruce, if you do a search for #500, so hashtag and then the number 500 in the search thing at the top, then that won't help you because it's not the right one. It didn't work. If you look up Expo Tools spray booth, it's EXPO, Expo Tools spray booth. It's kind of a standard spray booth that most amateur model makers will use. It's
the sort of updated version of the one that I've got behind me here, I think.
In fact, I'll do a screen share and I'll show you. Probably easier to do that, isn't it?
That's probably.
Right, I'll just make sure there's nothing open on my PC that I don't want people to see, because that's happened before. That's never.
No, that wouldn't happen.
Is it locked on now? I'm asking.
I don't know if it's locked on you because it's always locked on you, isn't it? Unless you locked it on someone else.
Being incompetent tonight. Just take me out now and shoot me. Right. So there. Is it showing you that?
Yep. That's
yeah.
Yep.
Yes. So it's the Expo Tools airbrushing portable spray booth number 5. It's #500 is the. It's because there's a space there. That's that's kind of a standard spray booth. I've got one. Ted's got one. Chris has got one. Most people have one of these.
Yeah. Yeah, they're good. Yeah. It depends how much money you want to spend, but as a good star spray booth, something to get going, that one's fine.
Yeah, they do. eModels do carry the 300 quid professional one that I can't remember what it's called. It's actually out of stock at the moment because it didn't come up on the search. But they do carry that one as well. But unless you're doing a lot of hardcore spraying, like constant lacquers for hours a day, one of these will be absolutely fine. It'll do you no problem at all. So I have mine for years. They're great. You can easily get the replaceable filters, and it's fine. Just get the big tube out the back and stick it out the back of a window, and you're fine.
Yeah. I found that when I was in the old house, I had my old workshop, I actually put one through the wall, and they take the size. You'd think they'd take the size of a tumble dry vent, but you don't. They don't. They're actually smaller. The pipe that you want to go through the wall is just a down pipe, a rainwater down pipe from outside your house.
Yeah.
2.5 inch, I think they are.
See, I wondered about, like, if you have like a vent on there, so you mount it into the wall permanently, so it's always sticking out, and it's like, well, what do you put on the other side of the hole? Do you put like a vent thing or like a little flappy vent?
You can put a louver vent or a flappy hole.
Yeah, flappy. But then you get all the cold coming in, and you get insects coming in and living in your spray booth. When you turn it on, will all the spiders explode?
They'll go get blown back out again, don't they?
That's true. Good point.
Yeah.
So that's kind of a standard. That's kind of a standard spray booth that a large number of model makers will use. It's kind of a generic one that it has a million different brands, but it's always the same spray booth.
While we're on spraying, do we have another question?
Yeah,
questions are coming in.
Andrew Leary says, "What airspray kit would you recommend to start with, all in a box set?" It's a tricky one because
airbrush set.
I'd be tempted to say none, really.
I'd give the guys at eModels a shout and tell them how much you want to spend and what you need, and they'll be able to figure out some sort of selection for you that will fit in it.
Yeah, I mean, the thing with airbrushing is, like I've said many times before, it's a very steep but very short learning curve, and it doesn't take much to derail you and make you think you can't do airbrushing. So going for an all-in-one box set is fine, but you might do better with separates, like a separate airbrush and a compressor. It might have a little bit more, but then it'll make the whole process of learning how to airbrush easier and faster, and it'll be less likely to put you off. Because the thing with airbrushing is, it doesn't take long to pick it up. But if you don't pick it up, you'll think you can't do it when you can do it. It's just you've got the wrong.
Yeah, certainly try and go with the best your budget, once again, best your budget can afford, and go with a branded product. One thing about going for a branded product is, if anything goes wrong with it, you can always get spares. Some of you'll see lots of cheapo things on eBay and things like that that come across from China. Fine, yeah, they're fine. I've used them in the past, and they've done me okay. But yeah, when I stepped up and bought a branded product, I've got the Harder and Steenbeck Evolution. Is it the Evolution? I've got that anyway. Yeah, what you notice a difference. So buy the best your money can afford at the time, but certainly go branded, because if anything goes wrong with it, you can always get spares.
Yeah, I mean, I'd say don't go out and buy, you know, the massive expensive kit or sets or anything like that, because you might not enjoy airbrushing. There's no point spending a fortune on the kit if you're then going to say I don't like it. So don't go super cheap, because if you go super cheap, you get an airbrush that's not going to cooperate, and then you'll think again you can't airbrush. And again, if you go and buy the super cheap, like, you know, Chinese knockoff sets, yeah, they might be fine, or it might be absolute nonsense, and you'll think I can't airbrush, and in reality, what you're trying to do is spray through a terrible airbrush that even I couldn't spray through, or Ted couldn't spray through. So, have a word with the guy, have a word with the chaps at eModels. Give them your budget. So I want to spend this much, and they'll get you sorted out, because they only sell the good branded stuff. So Sparmax, Badger, Iwata, Harder and Steenbeck, stuff like that. Maybe not Harder and Steenbeck so much. That's more the you know you want to airbrush. But give the guys a shout at eModels, and they'll get you sorted out.
Yeah, as Travis Thompson says there, the cheap Chinese ones are okay as a starter, just you won't be able to do 1/72 Luftwaffe camo. Yeah, they're great. Yeah, I use mine now. I still got my Chinese one. I used it for applying clear coat because it gives a spray pattern about that big.
Yeah. I mean, I always say to people when it comes to like the sort of cheap Chinese knockoff airbrushes, it's like learning to ride a bike, but you might get a bike with square wheels. And if you learn to ride a bike with square wheels, you're not going to learn how to ride a bike. So you get what you pay for. So yeah, give the guys a shout and give them an idea of your budget, and see what they can come up with.
Any tips on painting clear parts of a landing lights and wingtip lights on aircraft? A lot of people have already answered you in chat for the sprue glue. Tamiya clears, some of the clear paints. Somebody suggested putting aluminium behind them. That's about it.
Yeah. So Tamiya clears are probably really, really good if you spray them on. They're very thick. You have to thin them down quite a bit and build them up slowly, but they are really good.
Yeah, what you got to remember is that the front of the lens is usually clear, like a car headlight. You'll see some clear indicators on cars and things like that, where the bulb is the coloured. It's actually the bulb or the background that's coloured, and not the whole thing. So it's not the colour of the lens that's coloured. It's behind it. So you want to put your paint on behind.
Fellow eModels model maker Nevbear Model Making is in. Evening, guy, he says.
Good evening.
Doing his car. It's La Ferrari LaFerrari.
I thought that was Andrew. I thought that's Andrew, that is.
Yeah.
And I thought I might not be right, so I won't say it.
Yeah. Welcome, Andrew. Not forgetting, of course, because we haven't mentioned yet, but obviously tonight's chat, you've got Dad, Mike Mountain, is in doing his bit and bobs. I think Colin's in as well. There he is.
Yeah, I've seen Dad, Colin, and Vincent has been around as well.
So
look after your mods, and they'll look after you.
Yeah. I see the Ferrari. There's been another episode released of that as well. So if you haven't seen that yet, go along and have a look at the eModels YouTube page. Yeah, there's quite a few models that are going to be finished soon. We might be having to arrange a trip down to eModels in the not too distant future.
Yes, I'll be catching the lift off you then, Ted, because my car's off the roads.
Yeah, especially when I finish the submarine, because I've got nowhere to put it.
Yeah, there is that. You literally don't have anywhere to put it.
Yeah, I have literally nowhere to put it. It's at the stage now where it's all together and it's grown to about 4 foot long. I just haven't got a shelf.
So it's going to be in your car when you finish building it. Yeah, until you manage to get your car to eModels.
Yeah, that's it. It's going to live in the car.
What we'll do, Ted, is when you finish yours, I'll get my little one finished as much as possible. Take them both down at the same time and have them side by side.
Yeah, that's it. It will fit in a minute though, because I've measured it.
Yes.
Yeah, we won't have to remember when we picked it up. You came with me and we picked it up, and you sort of squashed behind the box.
Yeah, it was a bit. It was.
When was it that you picked it up, Ted?
About 2 years ago.
Yeah.
I wonder if that's the longest time for building a model.
Yeah.
And it's a big model. It's not that you know. But
yeah. Well, I've got my excuses.
you've got excuses, yeah. Travis Thompson says, do you think there's a future in model makers selling plans for people to 3D print rather than making the plastic themselves? So Airfix will sell you a file for printing your own kit thing.
I think that's going to come.
I don't know. At the moment, it's obviously not there because 3D printing is not fast enough or high enough quality in the home, and not in many homes. But yeah, I can see it. The trouble is, if you can 3D print a kit, you can 3D print the actual finished thing. So is there going to be a crossover between doing that and doing the other? So
yeah, I think it's probably going to go the way of the Betamax VHF type thing, where and even a microwave. People didn't have microwaves in the home at one time, and now everybody's got one. Yeah, I think it will come once technology gets better. Yeah, somebody says, what about decals?
Yeah, Andrew says 3D printers would be okay for the plasticky bits. What about the decals? And Spruglu says 2D printers do decals.
yeah, there is that. Or they could sell you the. Imagine you'd be able to download your. It's gone. Yeah, download the information from the internet, won't you? So you wouldn't get the decals with it.
Yeah, but you get a picture of your decals that you print out on your decal printer, or whatever.
Less than white. AJ says, "How's a new job going?" No, unfortunately, didn't get the job. I was sick. I was runner-up.
Oh, you didn't get it. No, you actually already got it. Oh man.
Did they not have you down to do something and then say, actually, thanks for doing that, but we don't need you?
yeah. We'll just put you to a little test. Can you fix this washing machine? All right, thanks.
We might get you to do another test next week.
Tim Small asks why I'm so quiet. It's because I'm busy focusing on doing the button pressing to move the camera around because it's not doing it automatically. So I've got to do all the camera manning tonight.
Paul says he started with a Machine Mark comp and airbrush, a compressor and airbrush, nearly gave up, treated himself to an Iwata HP CS Eclipse, and he's getting quite average now. Yeah. So yeah, if you got rubbish stuff, it's going to be a bit rubbish. So if you get decent stuff, you might be all right.
Yeah, good. What else? I did see another question up there. I think Sprudler's had his question answered. There's already a market, tranches. There's already a market for add-ins for kits on 3D printers. Loads for the Decosing Falcon Fox.
Yes, I know.
Degostini Falcon.
Philly's just come up with a good point actually about decals.
Yeah.
No matter how good that 3D printers get, and you print your own decals, except how would you print white decals?
Yeah, that's the only problem.
Yeah, that's the big thing that makes doing your own decals not feasible.
Yeah, there are professional printers that print in white, but they're not common.
No, they're proper professional pieces of equipment. So, yeah, that will be the one big sticking point. Is, I mean, I think as 3D printers become more mainstream and get better and better quality as they approach industrial quality, the model manufacturers will have to embrace that. Because eventually 3D printing will become cheap enough that every house has one, and it'll be easier to go to your model supplier and buy the data for it to download it and then print it. So they'll still be able to make money by selling the software, and I guess there'll be some kind of anti-piracy stuff they can put onto it, so that to get your.
I think there'll still be plastic in boxes on shelves because you could say the same thing about electronic books and magazines and newspapers and everything. People still want the physical things, and they want to go into a model shop and browse all the boxes on the shelf and take one home with them.
Yeah, and then you get other stuff as well, like for your average plastic kit, maybe it'll be fine that you can get your printer and you can print out your tank or your figure or what have you. The difficulty when you get to specific engineering issues, like you couldn't print your own Bandai kit because Bandai have very special polystyrene. They treat their polystyrene a bit different to everybody else, and it's all carefully engineered. You couldn't 3D print all the multiple pre-joined ball and socket joints in a Bandai kit. So you couldn't do stuff like that. You couldn't do... I can't with the point then. It's gone from my brain completely. But you wouldn't be just instantly able to print every kind of model because there's certain things that are engineered that you just wouldn't be able to print without having.
Can you print clear plastic?
Yes and no. You can get lots of different coloured filaments. You can get a transparent filament. It's not perfectly transparent though.
Yeah.
The way you print it is by heating it up and sort of melting it and then laying it out in layers on most printers anyway. And the fact that you're heating it up and melting it obviously introduces a certain level of cloudiness to it as well. So
yeah. Stephen Hill Harris says you can use white decal paper, and yes, you can use white decal paper, but then you have to cut the decal out perfectly. It's for white decals, it's more like, imagine I'm building a tank and it's got a load of white text, stenciling white text on the side of the tank. How would you print that out on white decal paper and then cut it all out manually? It's just not feasible. So there'll always be some stuff that you can't reproduce domestically because it's not possible. So there'll always be a little bit, and like Ted says, there'll always be a market for the physical plastic kit. It's like vinyl records. You can still buy stuff on vinyl.
I've not tried printing decals, but I'm assuming normal decal paper is basically transparent.
Yes, you can get white
and then
decal
you put the
paper,
colours down on top of it.
Yeah, you can get a specific white decal paper, which is basically a white sheet. So you print your decal on top, and say you've got a white circle with the red bit in the middle.
Yeah.
If you do it on clear, on normal paper, it's just a red bit in the middle.
Right.
If you print it on white decal paper, you can print the red bit, and then you have to physically cut the white bit out. It doesn't print the white bit because domestic printers can't print white. Your LaserJet and your inkjet cannot print white. That's the problem. It's not the paper, it's the ink. Up until a few years ago, you could buy a very expensive industrial Alps printer which can print white, but they're very rare, very expensive, and they've actually stopped making the cartridges for them, so you can't get them anymore. Industrial printers can do it, but again, it's down to printing white. You can use white decal paper, but it's just cutting paper out to look like you printed it. So if I was doing stenciling on the side of a tank or an aircraft or something, you need the proper printed decals. Really.
I suppose in theory you could get some white ink and put it into a printer.
Nope.
No,
can't print white. There's no such thing as white ink for printing.
Well, there's white stuff.
Nope.
No,
it's not possible. Not on a normal domestic inkjet or LaserJet.
But you can get white ink, not as a purchase. Or go and buy some white ink for your printer.
Yeah,
but you can refill cartridges.
Yeah, no,
so you can fill a cartridge with white and then tell it you were printing red when it was actually white or something.
The difficulty is it's not the ink, it's the way that domestic printers work. When you tell a printer to print white, it's printing nothing.
Yeah, but if you made it think it was red, but in the red bit you had white,
that you could potentially do that.
In theory, it'd be a lot of messing around, but in practice,
yeah, I suppose you could do that, but I don't know. I don't know if that would work. But
but I would think that the market for white ink is so small.
Yeah,
this is probably true.
Yeah.
Nobody's going to do
them. Carl's in. Says good evening, folks.
Yes, I thought so.
Before stickers are on as well, so he's done well tonight.
Brian Windmill says, the question to Ted, where's the orange paint bottle?
Oh, where is the orange paint bottle?
There, right behind you.
Is it orange or red? It always used to be a red lid, didn't it?
It was red, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's red. I've got a selection of colours: yellow, red, grey, black, and white. I had to think what colour that was then. It's grey. Yellow, red, grey, black, and white. Yeah, I looked in a pink box and I had a selection of colours. I thought we'd bring the red paint bottle back.
Andrew Leary says there's no slot in a printer for white ink, only black and the three colours that get mixed: red, green, and blue. Yeah, I think what Chris was saying was just fill one of those with white ink.
Yeah,
but like
you could have a separate printer for just printing white bits on your decal.
Yeah, but the difficulty is then you have to program it to do the white, and because like I said, when a printer prints white, it's actually just printing nothing because it's assuming it's on white paper. So it's very complicated. Mark Dell says it wouldn't matter what colour of ink, you'd still get the thing saying can't see the printer.
Yeah, it's there. Look, it's Super DJ says who's Canadian. To which several people have said, I'm Canadian.
Yeah, we're getting Canadian facts. Celine Dion is Canadian, says Paul. Paul at Team Ineps in. Like and subscribe. Osric 9000 says Nathan Fillion is Canadian.
Dad says, is it sticker time? Carl's here.
Yeah, Carl comes in for the stickers, leaves.
Yeah, we do take the mic, Carl, but we love you really. You just have this incredible timing that you always do just before we do stickers.
Yeah.
Tim Small says picking my printer takes 8 ink cartridges and none of them are white. I bet.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah, imagine going to fill that printer up. It's bad enough now filling your printer up when it runs out of black ink. How much?
I haven't actually got a printer, you know. I've never had a printer.
Yeah, I've got a printer, but it's in the loft, so I never use it, and it takes up so much room. It just gets in the way.
Yes, is that the support? Yes, my printer's not working. Okay, yes. Well, it's in the loft.
Have you tried turning it off and turning it back on again?
Philly says that Canada has apologised for Brian Adams on numerous occasions, but we're really sorry.
But Canada apologise for everything all the time anyway, so you can't really.
Yeah, but the thing is, Canada doesn't have to apologise for anything because whatever bad they do is made up for, like maple syrup. Makes up for it. So instant.
Andrew Leary has a question. He says, any recommendations for textured paints? He picked up some Citadel paint with sand in it for his T55 Enigma, and it worked okay. Yeah, there's lots of textured sands. Vallejo do. What have I got? I've got something here. Oh.
I think Mr. Surfacer works well as a textured paint, doesn't it?
I have AK actually. Sorry. Terrains range. This is desert sand, which does have like texture of having sand in it, and you paint it on, and yeah,
some of that. It's good. Yeah, it's good to paint it, and it goes on a lot smoother though than mixing your own. I found when you've mixed your own paint and sand together, like people are probably going to recommend you do, I find it doesn't always paint on as smooth. You get.
Well, then you've got to get scale sand as well, haven't you? So normal sand's going to be too big.
Yeah, I think those are like there's not sand in those things. It's just different.
It's not sand. It's whatever texture that makes it look like sand. But yeah, I mean, I use that on a 144 scale dio, and it was probably a bit big for sand, but it worked as well. And it came out looking good.
Tim Small says it's 240 quid a pop to change all his cartridges. Holy cow! Paul at Team Inept says one day he's going to ban Carl halfway through the sticker question, and Carl laughs at that. Says evening all, and Mancutista 16 says good evening all, and eModels says good evening.
LD says, is there a product like C1 but gold?
Nope.
No, I'm trying to think. C1 does tend to give a silvery effect, although you use it over different coloured paints, it changes it. But I don't think you can ever get it really gold.
No, it's you can't make it look gold by doing it over yellow. That I've tried. That doesn't work. It's a metal pigment, so you're just buffing the metal pigment, and it's lining up and reflecting the light, which is why it's silver. I don't think there are any gold ones. I could be wrong, but I don't think so. It'd
probably be called C2 or something, wouldn't it?
No, yeah, that's what you did there. There are. I mean, there's only two. I think there's basically two main pigment makers. There's Ushi van der Rohe and the C1 Metallizer. I don't think either of them do gold. I think it's just all basically.
I mean, there are lots of gold metallic paints.
Yeah, I think basically the metal powders are akin to graphite, basically. But maybe not just graphite, but it's like graphite. You put graphite on something and rub it and it goes shiny metal. It's the same principle, so I think it's very similar stuff. You can get Alclad 2 gold, though, says Zadster, and you can, but that's a paint.
Yeah.
And you can get some buffable paints. You can get Mr. Colours, Mr. Metal Colour, I think, are buffable if I'm right. And they're just paints, they're lacquers, but they're buffable.
I thought I had some to hand, but I haven't.
Yes.
No.
Macratista 16 asks, Fox, how's it going with the Millennium Falcon? I haven't started it yet. It's going to be months yet.
Oh.
A couple of other things to do. I've got to do the little U-boat for eModels. I'm going to start this week. When that's done, I've got to do my mobiles, my master grade Sazabi. I always look up there because it's just there. I've got the camera. You probably wonder why I'm always looking up there. There's my Yamato as well. I've got to do my little U-boat, which is going to be this week. I've got to do my big master grade Sazabi. It takes me a while, and then I'm on to the Falcon. So it's going to be at least a month. At least a month.
Paul has a question. He says, why won't my printer do black and white if the colour cartridge needs replacing, but the black is full? It's because it's a printer.
Yeah, have you tried turning it off and turning it back on again?
Yeah.
Power cycle reset. You have to remember with printers, there's no design in a printer that's meant to be convenient. In this day and age when I can plug in a complicated smartphone to my complicated computer and they can instantly communicate and I can transfer files, you plug in a printer to your computer and you need like weeks of therapy just to
yeah, it does all that clunking and whirring, doesn't it? And kicking.
You have to get all the incantations to the machine spirits and get all the oils and things, and get the Sector Mechanicus out to have a look at it. And yeah, we try to turn it on and off again. Hail the Emperor.
Oh, where
Carl at Make a Model says, and people think modeling paint is expensive, not a patch on printing.
McQueester says, have I watched the clip that he sent me from about starting a U-boat engine? I did see that. There's a clip on YouTube about, I think there's a museum. I've got one of these U-boat museum, U-boat engines in the museum, and they start it up. There's a guy pumping. It's self-priming and high pressure air starting. So he primes it and then he turns the high pressure air on and goes and primes it a bit more, then turns the air off and then turns it back on again. You can't think you get, it's not like turning a key and let's get out of here. Start the engines.
Has it got that real hypnotizing bit where the piston arms kind of go like that on either side, and they're all like they're like a Mexican wave down the length of the engine?
Yeah, it's fascinating to watch.
I used to love that on Das Boat when you see the engine going, the things would be like that, and it'd be going all the way down, and then there'd be the crazy, whatever his name was, crazy. What was his name? The engineer was Crazy Hans, wasn't it?
I can't remember.
Das Boat.
Even when you used to start your car, you used to have to worry about a choke, didn't you? But nobody has to worry about that anymore.
Yeah, you used to get in your car, start the car, pull the choke out, and a little bit of choke in. No, not too much because it started, pull it back out again. It'd go off, and then you'd forget to push it back in. It'd stall at the traffic lights because you're choking.
Talking of engineering and stalling, Arm Brit says, "Praise be to the Omnisire, all hail the motive force." It's a Warhammer thing. Moving on.
I thought it might have been. I didn't know what it was.
Michael Adams says, "Hi guys."
Andrew Leary says old diesel trains used to have mini engines as starter motors. A lot of them. Some I forgot what I was going to say completely.
Are we saying then that British Leyland, you managed to mess up our train system as well as our cars?
Yeah, the diesel engines used to fall apart as well.
Tron Charge says, bring back dot matrix printers with the continuous folding paper you can rip off with the green and white stripes. Yeah. I'm so old that when I got my first job, I was working in an office where they were printing stuff out on that printer paper. It'd go like, you'd be like that with it, the green and white stripes. Dot matrix printers. Oh, I had somewhere a printer cartridge, it was like that long. And it had 2 bits at the end. And when they ran out, and it'd be like 2 bits like that sticking up in a big long strip. And what we do is, with the ribbon here, it's like a typewriter ribbon, but like that long. What we'd do is when they're out, we'd snap this bit off and we'd tape the thing round and we'd turn it around and you'd have a machine gun. The big long black one with the handle here, and then the ribbon would be the strap, and you'd be like running around the office playing war games. We were children, what can I say?
Osric 9000 says, if I want to print anything, I email it to a work email address and print it there.
Yeah, not saying that other people do that as well, but
can you do decals?
Zadster gets the retro tech guys going, get a bit excited and says, fanfold tractor feed. Whoa. Get a bit of that fanfold tractor feed action.
Shadowland Scale Model says, anybody have a pair of X-ray specs? And did they really work?
Yes and no.
I never paid that from. No.
Do you not remember the adverts in the back of your comic in the beat and things like that? It used to be
X-ray specs and sea monkeys.
Yeah, false fingers.
The thing is, it was bad for us in the UK because we get all the adverts in the back of all the comics, but they're all American and we couldn't get things like sea monkeys and stuff. So we could see all the adverts and we couldn't get them.
It used to be in dollars, didn't they? It used to $3 for a sea monkey.
I know, and you'd be like, oh. Actually, I watched a documentary about the guy that invented those, and they're just brine shrimp. They literally are just brine shrimp eggs.
But they're monkeys.
They just dried them out because if you put them in water, they come to life. And he said, so he's basically just selling little bags of brine shrimp eggs.
I thought they were monkeys.
No.
But getting back to the question, did X-ray specs work?
No,
of course they didn't.
No. We have a quite proper question. Super Djar says, what do you gentlemen think of Armortech models? I've no experience of them. Have you guys?
I haven't. No.
Armortech. Let's just have a look. Do eModels sell them? I'll just have a see if I can refresh.
If they don't, we're not allowed to talk about them.
And of course, we can maybe get them in. I'm going to have a look now, actually. You got them there, Ted?
Is your typing fast? I'm only on my phone.
No, but I can get into a Facebook link.
Phil Kit says they're called Aqua Dragons now. They're not sea monkeys, they're Aqua Dragons. They're still not. They're still the same things, though. They're still not actual monkeys or dragons.
Are they still just?
I don't think eModels sell them.
Yeah, they don't appear to have them in stock. Doesn't mean they don't actually. Doesn't mean they can't get them. What I would say, because I've no experience with them, so I can't say anything about them. If you're interested in getting some, do give the guy the remote control models. Yeah, they do remote control stuff at eModels. So if you are interested in picking some up, give them a shout. Either give them a call or drop them a contact form on their website and just say, hey, can you guys get these in? Because if they don't stock them now, maybe they do stock them and they haven't got any in stock. Or maybe they haven't stocked them before, but they can get them in if they know somebody wants them. So give them a shout.
Yeah, SuperDG says they're RC models. Yeah, well, I know that eModels do specialise in RC control. So, yeah, they'll probably be able to sort something out. Just drop the contact.
Aqua Dragons, that's nonsense.
Aqua Dragons.
Sea monkeys.
No more nonsense than sea monkeys if they're just brine
shrimps.
Yeah,
Christopher C says, sorry, I'm late again.
You were in earlier. I saw you. You mean you were in and then you went away again? Maybe. I don't know.
You leave us? How dare you leave?
I don't know.
What else can there possibly that you need to do right now apart from when we do the what's in store and you have to go and buy all the things?
Yeah.
Something else should be taken away from this program.
Another 5 minutes and we can let you do what's in store. Have you chosen good subjects?
Nobody shout at us yet to do it, so we can keep it going until somebody shouts out.
We're taking orders from the public now. We don't do anything until they tell us to do.
Yeah.
Okay, it's fine. It's fine. They're still talking about old tech stuff about hard disk platters and tape readers and things.
Tape readers.
When you have all the in films and stuff, you've got the wall of computers and stuff with the flashy lights and the beeping and stuff.
Mm.
Do they need the flashy lights and the beeping? Are they is that a real thing?
I think they were. I think they were, because if you go and look at like a supercomputer, maybe not today, but if you go and look at like an old Cray supercomputer, they have the banks of little tiny LEDs and they all flash. And I think they all relate to different processors doing different things, and it was a way in those days for them to see that. Mm. I guess they were more solid state in those days.
I know Hollywood always put flashy lights and beepy things on things that wouldn't. I mean, if I was making a bomb, not that I would, but if I was, I wouldn't have a countdown timer on it and flashy lights, and I wouldn't make it beep every 5 seconds.
Yeah, you wouldn't. Yeah,
I'd be leading away from that. I watched a program or film the other day, and someone had like a GPS tracking thing implanted in them, and they cut it out, and it had a little flashy red LED on it. It's like,
what's really? The point? Yeah, but you have to remember that when it comes to TV and movies, they can't create any kind of technology that would be even remotely feasible. This is the same industry that gave you the screen reflected on the hacker's face for no reason whatsoever.
This is true. Yeah.
It's like, yeah. And have you ever noticed how when that happens, it's always the right way around?
Well, obviously, because otherwise it'd be wrong.
It's like not only is it completely break every law of physics and thermodynamics, it also is the wrong way around.
Yeah. I remember. Do you remember the clocks or the timers that they used to have on these big supercomputers that were like they were LEDs, obviously, but they were like little lights, and they were all behind each other, so it lit up 9 and then 8 and 7.
Yes, I know exactly what they're called. I know
precursor to the 7-segment LED, the ones that actually layered. Yeah,
they were called Nixie lights, I think. Because I remember I saw something last week actually that was talking about them, just happened to be, and I think they're called Nixie lights. They're like it's a little valve with filaments, and each filament is a different number in it. I think something like that. Nixie tubes. There you go. Zadster says that's it.
There we go. Was that because it was made by Brian Nixie or something?
Bob Nixie.
Bob Nixie.
No, it was Dave Tube.
Dave Tube.
Dave Tube and Bob Nixie. My name's Tube. Dave Tube. Here's my friends, Brian Wimmel and Cardboard.
Also, Decatron tubes, apparently, according to Zadster. That sounds evil. That's like a Transformer name, isn't it?
Anything with the word tube on the end is a brilliant word, because tube is the best word there is.
Tube.
Things are coming along.
Mark Dale has a Nixie tube watch. Nice.
Wouldn't that be like 4 foot thick?
Yeah. Well, there's for those of you who know your video games, there's the Metro Last Light, Metro 2033 series of games, or the Metro games. There's a limited edition pack for the latest game. I think it's Metro Last Light, and they have 10. They're giving away 10 of these like ammo crates with stuff in it. One of the things in there is a Nixie tube watch, made to look like the one in the game, and there's only 10 of them in existence. I saw a video with the guy that wrote the books that the games are based on. He was showing you all these things in this limited edition. He's like, this is a really great watch. I really want one. And I can't have one because there's only 9 of them. We're giving them away. I wrote the books and I can't get one.
It's like the Casio watch, isn't it? Remember having a Casio watch? You press the button, it told you the time, and that was it. That's all it did.
I've actually been watching lately a lot. There's a YouTube channel that does a lot of retro tech that I follow at the minute, and I love it. And it's got me thinking, I really want to find an old LED Casio like digital watch. I don't know why. I think it'd be cool to have an old like 1970s.
No, this is what I do for a living, and no, it isn't.
Is it not?
No, we see quite a lot come into the shop, and most of them don't work anymore because they've been sitting in a drawer for 30 years.
I know, but imagine, what time is it? Well, or just have a calculator watch, the old calculator, just so I can when I'm doing my filming.
That's going too far in the future. When the Casio came out, it was just, what time is it? 12:50.
You can see it in the dark as well. It lit up. It's great.
I'd love when I'm doing a recording and I'm filming and stuff, and you can see my hands doing things. Just to have an awesome retro watch, everybody be like, "Whoa, you've got a Casio calculator watch from 1971." What? Something.
Well, yeah. Chris said he has them coming in the shop all the time.
Yeah, I'll send you one that doesn't work.
No, send one that works. That'd be even better because then it's free. So says his dad had a used 4 megabyte hard drive the size of a washing machine.
Yeah. All computers, floppy disks as well. It doesn't seem that long ago since everything was on a floppy disk.
Yeah, only going back to the late. I had an Amiga in 1990 that had a floppy disk drive.
Yeah,
I had a zip drive on one of my computers.
The problem is now, though, I've got loads of photographs on floppy disks that I can't read.
Yeah, you can still get floppy drives.
Yeah, you can still get them, but
yeah.
I saw a photograph once of a hard drive, an IBM hard drive being loaded into an aircraft. And it was like, you see them things where they're loading a Jeep into the side of an old vintage aircraft and it's like as big as the side of the aircraft. It was like they opened the entire cargo hatch and they were pushing this hard drive in. It just about fit through this jumbo jet.
And it's 8K.
Yeah, it was like a 6K hard drive. Carl at Maker Models remembers the Amiga hard drive at 2 megabytes cost in excess of 200 quid.
Yeah.
I had the 512 Amiga and I got the 512K expansion pack, and it cost my dad about 100 quid for 512 meg.
My first hard drive that I bought was 120 meg, and it was like, well, I'm never going to fill this up. Why? This is just going to last me forever.
I think my first hard drive was about 250 meg. Somebody mentions that Trot Charge says he's still got his Amiga and C64. I remembered to my horror about 6 years ago when I set up all this model making stuff. Before this was here, there was a rack of synthesizers and music recording equipment and like all kinds of bits and bobs. And my big multi-track reel-to-reel recorder that I used to as a mixer was on a big box, and in that big box was an Atari 400 with the power pack and the tape drive and loads of games. And when I moved all this to set this up, I think I threw it out. Oh, I wish I hadn't now. I'm like, why did I just kind of threw it because I just cleared everything out. And it's like I just realized about a week ago I threw an old Atari 400 out. I'm like,
Earl D said he has had an Amiga Octamed music program.
Octamed, I remember that. I used to use Octamed. It was great.
Spenny Q says in junior school I had a Knight Rider digital watch. Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Octamed. I actually wrote my first ever piece of music on Octamed on the Amiga. Sprugu Addict still got his Commodore VIC-20.
Yeah, model officer says my father still has his Acorn Electron and it's still working.
Wow.
In my old bedroom at my parents' house is my BBC Model B, and that would probably still work. But you'd have to have an aerial connection to plug it into, so I don't, yeah.
Somebody mentions about Babylon 5 Season 1 using VIC-20s, and that's it's a myth. They use Lightwave, but it wasn't rendered on Amigas. I read it was done on Amigas with the video toaster. From reading articles back in the day, but I could be wrong. But I can't believe I threw my Atari 400 away. It probably worked as well. That's why you shouldn't watch YouTube channels that deal with retro tech, because you just realise all the tech you threw out that you really shouldn't have thrown out.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like you're getting old when you're watching the Antiques Roadshow, where you think I had one of them.
Or I've still got one of them.
Yeah, apparently there's more power in the pocket calculator, isn't there, than there was in the lunar landing?
Yeah, your phone is like 10 times more powerful than the lunar lander. Yeah.
It's thousands. It's tens of thousands
now. Yeah.
It's supposed to be that the lunar excursion module that landed on the moon had the calculator. They had the computer power of a calculator, of an early 1970s calculator. So your smartphone is tens of thousands of times more powerful. Something like that.
How times progress. I must admit, who would have thought? Well, even 5 years ago, that we'd be talking online like this. Sort of things of Star Trek, isn't it? Sliding doors.
And people all over the world are watching.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, 126 viewers we had tonight up to now. So what's
not one of them has had a pizza turn up yet. Can I point that out?
Well, no, nobody's told us that they've had a pizza turn up. It might have happened.
Well, but we're always told when a pizza.
We should be told these things. That's
I understand the pizzas have been ordered though.
If no pizza has turned up, as no pizza has been announced, it's not turned up because we're always told when it arrives.
We should be told when it. I'm sure that's part of the contract they sign when they log in.
Lord Barkley III to me says, any idea how long we wait for the mugs we are worn to turn up, as mine hasn't arrived yet? Paul DiTomaso said he has his.
Yeah,
you should have had them by now. If you haven't,
and as Ericsson says, he's had one turn up as well. I reckon they're probably working their way through the list of getting there.
Yeah, if you haven't had it yet, because it's been a few weeks, just drop an email into ted@eModels.co.uk and just say you're still waiting, and we'll pass it on for you. Because it maybe they haven't got through the list yet. Maybe it's gone out and it's just.
Yeah. I believe they're coming with stickers as well. So if you're awaiting a sticker as well, it's coming with them.
Yes.
Michael Jackman says, "Knock at the door."
Oh, we spoke too soon.
Ah, dear. Sprigru says, "I'm scared to order a pizza. There might be pineapple on it."
I think we should all sit here in silence and wait for him to say what is on his pizza.
For Michael Jackman to tell us what's on his pizza.
It's entirely up to him. If we sit here for 20 minutes and doesn't say anything, then it's his fault. We should all just stare at him through the internet.
Anders got his mug and sticker in the same package.
Good. Cool. Right. It must be about that time for what's in store then, Chris.
Should we?
Time for what's in store.
Make sure people have refreshed. Oh, Fox has got his click and refresh animation to do. I'll wait. I'll sit here quiet.
I've got to do my aircraft. Exits to the left and right. Now, we're going to do the giveaways. No, we're not. We're going to do what's in store. I'll tell you what. Yeah, just you do it, Chris. It's not going to work if I do it.
It's usually me that messes things up.
Normally, I'll see if I can get it correct. Right.
My word didn't work.
I'm going to be doing what's in store. It's my week this week, so it's slightly more challenging than previous weeks when Fox does, something that's easy. But Ted did guess it, so it's probably not that difficult this week. So you'll be able to do it. Make sure you're refreshed and up to date. Is it click and drag? Is it that way or the other way?
I'll come back. Remember to refresh and drag.
Refresh and drag.
Refresh. Drag.
The other way. The other way.
Browser and drag the bar.
That's the way. Yeah, you don't drag it that way.
Yeah.
Refresh.
If you drag it that way, you go back to the beginning again, and you have to
make sure the bar
that way. I don't know which is the right way.
That way. That way. No,
that
the other
way.
way.
Yeah,
that way. Yep.
Mark Dale says he needs a store. He hasn't found his next build yet.
Oh well, we might be showing you one soon.
Yeah, I'm looking for my next build as well. I'm already thinking. After the submarine, what we're going to build next.
Send your suggestions to Ted at eModels, eModels.co.uk.
So, Anders Ericsson says Chris is rigged. Chris is rigged.
Wrong way. Yeah, it was the wrong way. It was that way. You got to go
that way.
That way.
That way?
Yes, that way.
That way.
Your left is our right. And it's got to go to the right, otherwise you're going back in time.
Fresh.
If you've refreshed and dragged, and we're saying hello and welcome to eModels, you've gone the wrong way.
Yes, I just said that. I just mouthed that when you said it, and that's probably really confusing.
Was it clicked on me or you, or have you been still doing
no, it was clicked on you, but I mouthed it when you said it.
It doesn't work then.
No.
Anyway, I shall find my screen sharing button.
Screen
sharing button. And share my screen.
Well,
remember, we'll do a theme. Did you just say all this?
No, I didn't say about the. I did sort of get there, but
Yeah. Don't forget, we're gonna. Wow, hello. Wow, train wreck. There'll be a theme throughout all these models, and when he's finished showing you all the models, the first person to get the theme right will win a big sticker that I haven't got out yet because I'm special. Don't put your answer in the chat. We'll tell you when to put your answer in the chat. When we come back from showing you, Chris will say, "What's the theme?" Go. Yep. Don't answer before, because we'll ignore anybody that answers before Chris says.
Even people that are saying now, cheese and onion 144 scale. No, they're not. No, not yet.
Yep. Even if you got the answer 100% right, we'd ignore it.
Mark Dale says he's going to order whatever is the last thing you show.
I've already chosen the order that I'm going to show them in, so we'll find out. Am I on me?
Yes. Yeah, I assume so.
Good, because I have it here prepared, ready. Right, first up, we have the Polar Lights 1/24 scale Spider-Man VW Beetle.
I don't know how this fits with your theme. Move on.
Now, I'm always confused with Spider. I think it should have a hyphen in there, shouldn't it? It should be Spider-Man.
It actually does on the box art.
Yeah, because that's correct. It's Spider-Man, but it's Iron Man as one, but it's Superman as two words, isn't it?
But you know why? Because Marvel is nonsense.
You've got to make it up as you go along.
Because
anyway,
DC knows how to do it properly with Batman.
Batman. Is that two words?
It's one word. Batman.
One word, is it? Okay.
None of this magic powers nonsense Marvel drivel.
Anyway, this is the Polar Lights 1/24 scale Spider-Man VW Beetle. Basically, I think it's a VW Beetle with Spider-Man decals all over it.
Yeah.
I still can't see how this fits in with the theme, but go on.
Well, we get there. It's all right. You get there again.
Zazda can predict what that order will be. You can order the last thing on the list. Your tabs have given it away.
Well, there you go. I might do them in a different. No, I'll do them in this order.
You might. Yeah, you'd have to do them in the order on your desk. You could do them in a completely different order, can't you?
No, this is the order that I'm doing them in. There we go. I can't even drag them off the screen because you can see them all, can't you? Anywhere I'll put it.
Although Zazda just talked himself into ordering the same thing. So
yeah. Right. So that was the first one. $26.99. It's a car. It's fun.
It's fun.
There we go. Now we have a pack of 6 pieces of ball bearings, 4x8 by 3 millimeters. I'm assuming that's 4 up by 8 across and 3 on the inside, or 3 high and 4 and 8. I don't know how it works.
Chris, don't get something that has measurements again. it's not your strong suit.
It's 4x8 by 3.
5 in and 6 beyond.
Six bearings.
Yeah, but they're round, so you can't have height and you got a height and a width, but you can't have a width, so it won't be.
Yeah, it's the outside diameter.
The inside diameter, isn't it?
Inside diameter and the outside diameter.
So you think it's 4 high, 8 across, and 3 in the middle.
I thought that was a crossword clue.
Make that 3 ball day.
4 in the diameter, 3 thick, says Anders.
Yes.
3 millimeters thick.
So 4 across the middle, and then 8, and then 3 high.
4 in a diameter, 8 outer diameter, and 3 millimeter bearing.
Yeah.
Okay,
although actually, Carl makes up a new word, diameter, which is even better.
Oh, I like that.
8's got an 8 outer diameter.
I like a diameter.
I like that word, diameter. That's my new favourite word.
These are obviously used mainly for the RC side of things when you need to do things, but you might need some bearings.
Yeah, you might need to replace your fidget spinner.
You never know. Osric says fork handles.
1000 says fork handles.
Fork handles. Right. So we have that. Next up, we have something Gundam-like. Gundam marker. Oh, I selected it all. Brown liner type Gundam marker, Mr. Hobby. It's brown. It's a marker pen for marking your panel lines and things on Gundams. I'm not sure where you'd use brown. What would brown go on? It would go on like
brown would go on red or yellow if you didn't want to have the Gundam markers are basically designed to be like little panel liner pens. So if you're not painting fully your Gundam, if it's like, your little kid, your little boy or girl maybe wants to make one, doesn't want to paint it, you can use the Gundam markers to put all the panel lining on. If you're a younger builder and you don't want them to use enamel paints and stuff like that, it's just quite good fun for them. They can just get a Gundam marker, do all the panel lines, clean it up with a bit of alcohol on a damp cotton bud, just to get rid of all the mess they make, keep all the nice lines nice and clean. And you get the brown one, you get black and red and brown, I think white and stuff, but the browns are really for when you need to panel line things like yellow or red, if you don't want to do a stark black panel line.
Well, there you go.
Actually, if you're not painting your Gundam, if you're painting a Gundam and you use one of these and you try and clean it up, you'll make a mess. But if you're just using these on the bare plastic, then to clean up the edges, you just use just damp your cotton bud in a little bit of alcohol. Just damp it though, not wet.
Yeah. Michael Jacobin says, "Thank God it's Ted next week." Thanks. I appreciate that. I like your support.
He's a waiter.
You wait till I get to the end of these. Right. This one, we have the Panda 135th. Fox likes this one. It's the Boomerang.
Yeah, I think we've had this one on before, but it's always fun to put on because it's spelt correctly, but not
it's not just that eModels have spelt it wrong. It's on the box there. Look,
it's actually a boomerang.
It's a boomerang. I don't know why, but
I guess it's not English.
It's an APC. It's got doors on the back and stuff. So I thought they don't tell you anything more about it. They just show you another picture. So yeah, it's quite a nice looking, interesting kit.
Has it got some little pics down there?
I was having a look through there. Look, there we go. Yeah, it's got quite nice detail. Lots of rivets.
I seem to remember we've shown this before, and people at the time did say this is pretty good. It's a pretty good kit. It's a pretty nice kit.
Yeah, it's not bad at all. Obviously, it's not painted in the pictures, so you can do a good job of giving it some nice greeny camos.
Very striker, really, in that design.
Yeah,
similar but not the same.
It's got a wheel off there. It must be missing a bearing.
Yeah,
or you can get them as well. Yeah, obviously you can get others in the range by the looks of it. Or yeah, and slightly painted up versions.
Chris Balch is in. He says, "Hi, folks," and Ted, of course, just arrived in time to make you want to finish this week's broadcast. Scale model Vamp has just turned up, and Mark Dale, I'm starting to think my next build may be some earbuds or tape.
That's a real picture. That's the real thing.
That's a real thing. That.
Yep.
It's swimmable, is it? It's got propellers on it.
All right. Yep.
It's a meaty looking vehicle. I'd drive one of them down around.
Yeah, that'd be quite cool. And it's not expensive. It's 31 quid. So yeah, all good fun. Right. Next up, we have AK Interactives and paints. We've got some white and winter's color set. Winter is coming. So this is for anything you like. All the figures. They've got obviously knights and Napoleonic type stuff and sailors in the background there.
And if you can't get white ink, you can always have white paint.
Exactly. You can fill up your printer with white paint, do stuff like that. Yep. Specially formulated for the decoration of figures with uniforms, clothes, or garments in white and winter white uniforms. Any army and period. 6 jars, different tones of white, 2 colours for the shadows. So lots of different shades of white. Yeah, interesting. But there we go.
Zadster says ducted props like the Stalwart, and Chris Balchin says boomerang looks cool.
Boomerang looks cool.
Boomerang. I'll say boomerang now.
It is like the Stalwart, isn't it? Yeah.
This is quite a similar style to the boomerang, but it's a Canadian AVGP Grizzly.
Canadian.
The early version. I don't know what AVGP means.
It doesn't matter because it's Canadian, so it's clearly the best.
Canadian, so it's lovely, yeah. Armored vehicle general purpose, it means. There we go. I'll just put it down here in the words.
Zadster says boomerang number wang. That's number wang.
Yeah, apparently there are 3 variants of the Canadian AVGP: the Cougar, the Grizzly, and the Husky. This one is the Grizzly.
A massive decal that you put on the side that just says "sorry."
Right. Need to run you over. Sorry.
Excuse me. Sorry.
Coming through. I do apologise.
So yeah, first entered service in 1976. 195 Cougars were originally procured. Doesn't say how many Grizzlies.
Friday night, that does. Never mind, that was a bad
in service. Grizzlies. 274 Grizzlies were in service. Only 27 Huskies.
So Grizzly Cougars.
Grizzly Cougars. No, Cougar was slightly different, and the Grizzly was slightly different, and the Husky was slightly different. I don't know why, but they're a little bit different. And the final thing this week...
Hang on, if they're Canadian... Oh, it's too late now.
Yeah.
So the Canadians, you've got the Grizzly, which makes sense because they're Canadian, and the Huskies because the Cougar? Yeah. That's not a Canadian thing. No. Shouldn't it be like the moose? Or the elk?
No, there's probably something else called moose.
Shouldn't it be like the Grizzly, the poutine, and the elk or something.
No. And the final thing that someone's got to buy, I can't remember who it was. Who's going to buy it?
I forget now.
It's Milliput, the black version.
As well, apparently.
I know Milliput they do in different colours. I think they're different somethings. It's not just colour, is it?
They have different thicknesses and grains, but I can't remember which one the black is. If it's
black Milliput introduced in response to user demand, it can be used to repair antique clocks, guttering, ebonized wood, marble, slate, cast iron, ceramics, and black plastic parts in cars. So you can actually use it for real world stuff as well as obviously modelling stuff.
Oh, Milliput is super dense to hard.
Oh yeah, I've got a supply of Milliput. I always have a supply in. It comes in for anything: fixing the sink, fixing leaks, fixing holes in the car, anything. Yeah, just get you some modelling.
Yeah.
So there we go. I'll have a nip through again just to make sure everybody's aware. We have the Polar Light Spider-Man VW Beetle. We've got ball bearings. We have brown panel liner Gundam markers. The Panda Boomerang. AK's of White and Winter Colours paint set.
What was that last one, Chris? Just tell me what that last one was again.
That one.
No, the one before that one.
The one before that one. The Panda Boomerang.
Go on, carry on.
Here we go.
What did you say it was called? So,
AK Interactive White and Winter Colour set. The Trumpeter Canadian Grizzly and Black Milliput. So I'm going to stop sharing if I can find the right button. There we go. Screen share, stop sharing.
Lord Barkley says, is Milliput something to do with Ken Dodd?
There we go. What was the theme for this week's What's in Store? Go.
Oh.
I don't know how you. Some of these I'm looking at because I know what the theme is. And I'm looking at them and going, I don't get it.
I don't see Spider-Man or the ball bearings.
Yeah, Ted got it. There we go. Matt Bradford's in first with bears.
Bears.
Yeah,
How
bears.
did Spider-Man come into that?
Spider-Man. It's Polar Lights.
Oh.
Polar.
Bears.
What about bearings?
Bearings.
I got
Bear.
bear.
It's got bear in it.
Bearings. I like that one. Yes, my niece. I love my niece was born in lives in Texas. Start that again. My niece lives in Tennessee, and she of course says bears. Bears. So I can't say bears without saying bears.
Osric says random stuff was picked.
Zadster says bearings.
There we go. No,
And
some people
pointed out that cougars are mountain lions, and yes, it's just that more that like huskies and the other one grizzlies kind of feel cougar just sounds more like American than Canadian. If you ask me, give me a classic Canadian animal, I'm not going to say cougar. I'm going to say
moose.
Yeah. Moose.
You're just lucky that I couldn't find anything Rupert related on eModels site because otherwise I'd have put that in as well. But no. Yes. So as we said, Matt Bradford did indeed win. Send your email to ted@emodels.co.uk saying that you won the What's in Store sticker.
Sandy Bond says he needs
of course a big sticker.
Big sticker, yeah.
Big sticker. I'll put it on Macy. See, a big sticker.
Woohoo!
Hoorah! Go on, Ted. Sorry, what you saying?
Sergeant Bond says he needs a stiff drink after that connection. Yeah, too right. Yeah, bearings. Bearings.
It's fine.
That's barely a link, says Model Officer.
Oh, yeah.
This is almost about to go into Persona 4 territory here.
Yeah, I don't think we're going to go that far down there.
Yeah.
Don't worry. Yeah, it's my turn next week. Don't worry. We will return to normal viewing.
Well, I like to make them challenging for people. I think people look forward to my What's in Store selection because it makes your little grey cells work out a little bit.
Little guy cells.
The little grey cells.
Yes.
Australia has.
Did anybody watch the Poirot with John Malkovich?
No.
Did you, Ted?
Is that the one that was on over Christmas?
Yeah.
Yeah, I did see bits and pieces of it in the background. Yeah.
Do you know what? Before I watched it, I thought this is going to be terrible. John Malkovich being Poirot, and then I watched it. And I'm like, actually, it's really good. It was actually really quite good.
Yeah, I did think he was a bit better than David Suchet. Actually, I think David Suchet has been doing it too long now.
Yeah, but it was dark. It was obviously dark, and they rewrote the story completely. But it was like, you know what? He actually makes a good old Poirot. Because at first I'm like, no, it's not going to work. And it's like, you know what? I could do it.
Yeah, and then to make him out as a priest. Sorry for a spoiler for anybody that hasn't watched it. To make him out for a priest in the end,
Oh, Ted, spoilers.
A lot of people are saying they watched it and it was good. As Adster said, it was mostly filmed in Yorkshire.
Yeah, I hope.
And Sergeant Bones says, I think folks complained about Fox's choices of what's in store. Yeah, people do complain about Fox's choices of what's in store.
Yeah, but then you get everybody else's afterwards and you miss mine. Come on, everybody secretly loved the human tooth. You may... I did half a horse, and you know what?
Was the human tooth not one of mine, I think, actually?
Yeah, but you know what? When I did half a horse and that human tooth, eModels sold out of their stock of human horses.
Human half horse.
Human horses. Human half teeth horses.
Yeah, so you wait, and Spider-Man's going to be sold out soon.
Actually, Zadster says half horses will return in 2 weeks' time. I don't think they'll be getting any more of those in stock.
Depends. Yeah, they had to start cutting up horses to send out because they ran out. Yeah.
Chris Bolton says, Fox, do you know you've got a Canada on my head? And hi, Fox's mum. Yes. There's a reason I put that on. I've forgotten what it was now.
It's because we had people from Canada watching.
We have Canadians from Canada watching.
Yeah, I forgot the lady's name now. Was it a lady?
Nana.
It was Nana something. Yeah.
Now we have to ask though, is it Nana because that's your name or your nickname? Or is it Nana because you are actually someone's Nana? Because that'd be awesome.
Awesome name.
Model making Nana, that'd be great. Somebody's grandmom making models. Cool.
What else have we got to do? We're leaving up to these guys in chat to give us.
I don't know. I've done my stuff now. I'm finished. That's it.
That's it. You can lie back now. Yeah, lie down in a dark room now.
Mark says, "Oh, go on. Sorry."
Mark there says, "Am I allowed to buy the bearings instead of the millifoot? I may be able to build something from them. You can buy both."
It was Mark that was going to buy the last thing.
The millifoot wasn't expensive. It's fine.
Yeah. Don't forget, of course, when we do show the stuff that's in stock, because we forgot to say this. The guys at eModels always tell us that when they come back the next day after we've done a show and we show things in store, a lot of times the stuff we've shown is sold really well. So we seem to, even when it's me and I choose weird nonsense, you guys buy the human tooth sold out. They had several of them and they sold them all. So if any of that stuff, if you really have a need to buy ball bearings, but if any of that stuff tickles your fancy and you want to grab some, we don't know how many they have in stock. So if you saw something in that selection that you really want, don't hang around. Ted?
Slap it in your basket.
Good girl. Yeah, get it in your basket. Keep the show going. Open a new tab. Refresh and drag. Open a new tag. Get it in your basket. Get it checked out. It's not yours until you've paid for it. So if you put it in your basket and leave it for half an hour and you come back, it might not be in your basket anymore because they might only have 5 and 5 other people have bought one. So go and have a look now. If you want some of that stuff, get it in your basket. Pay for it. And stay around, keep us in the background because we're lovely and you like us, and then happiness will ensue. And excellent.
It's not yours till you've checked it out.
Yes.
Anders says, "Get the Spider-Man Beetle instead, Mark. Get them all. Buy them all. Buy them all.
I won't buy all the things. Get the bum truck. Whatever it was.
I can't see there being a big run on bearings, so you might be all right with them.
Yeah. Chris Polchin says it just shows that lots of us are weird as you are, Fox.
Yes.
Yeah. Nobody's as weird as I am.
Mark says, I would, but I can't stand Spider-Man or Beatles. So Millifoot it is then.
Buy the bum truck.
Milliput or a set of bearings.
Yeah. You need a bum truck or a bear, a grizzly bear.
And you can never have enough white paint.
No, that's true.
Yeah.
Here we go. Oh, Paul Di Tommaso. I did wonder this actually. Paul Di Tommaso says, yes, Nana Sunrise is his wife. Yes, she is a Nana and her name is Dawn. Because she said, glad you enjoyed the maple syrup. So I wonder if it was Mrs. Paul Di Tommaso. So, hey, Nana Sunrise. Still an awesome name.
It's great name. As I said, it's where Windmill and Cardboard go to get the wood on the street from Nana Sunrise.
I've just got it. Of course, she's a Nana and it's Nana Sunrise because her name is Dawn. It took a minute. Like Mama Fox to my nieces, or to her grandkids, is like Nana Banana, because Nana Banana. I don't know why they're American. We don't know. Nana Sunrise and Dawn. You see, that's really nice. I like that.
We got there in the end. Yeah, clever. Yeah. Come back there. Says hi, guys. Yep, come back. Yeah.
Osric 9000 says, "Who wouldn't want the boomerang?"
Mind you, is it a good idea to have the wife watching this at the same time as?
Yes.
You might slap something in your basket.
Yeah, I think if Nana Sunrise is watching, then she'll be slapping things in a basket at the same time.
Yep.
Yeah, they'll be getting lots of things ordered.
Oh, Mark's made a decision. He says, right, decision finally made. Milliput bearings and white paint and a Ferrari. So I don't get bored by Milliput bearings and white paint.
I mean, always boring stuff and there's something interesting.
So I've actually sold half of the selection for my what's in store. So that's got to be a record.
Yeah, ka-ching.
Chris Balchin says, do you know Milliput do a 144 putty? It's called Lilliput.
He actually types out ba-bum.
Yeah, he caught Chris caught.
To our credit, in our history on this show, we have 3 times shown a Dora, 135th Dora, and it's sold out before we finish the show. Each time.
Yeah, it does.
That's a 500 quid kit, so we've obviously got some kind of magic going on here.
Yep. So no pressure, but next week, Ted.
I'll be looking through eModels quite a bit for the next few weeks, thinking what to build next. So,
that's a point, Ted. You need to talk to the people about the next project.
Yeah, we already did. We did that.
So we'll shut up for a minute.
Well, right. What were we going to say? Well, actually, really, yeah, it is coming to that time again when I'm about finally to finish the U-boat build. It's over there on the table. He's looking at me. I would think I've got probably another couple of weeks filming and finally getting this U-boat finished and together. And I was kind of wondering what to build next. Now, I've done a big tank and I've done a big aeroplane and I've done a big Oshkosh. Because everything's big. So I'm just thinking this time I'm going to shrink things down a little bit.
You're going to do some 144 kit?
Oh, I'm not that small.
You're not that fast.
My eyes are not that good. I was thinking of getting back and doing something, a nice, quick and easy build, something that everybody can follow, something back, going back to my roots, a nice 1/35th scale something. I don't... Dora could be quite good. Yeah,
not the big one.
Yeah, it's just I've got nowhere. Plus, at the moment, I've got nowhere to build things until I get into the loft, so I need to keep it small. I'm thinking somewhat 1/35th, something British or Allied power. I don't want to do an aircraft because that's not my thing really. I've done an aircraft. I want to do something else. So get some ideas coming in.
We're getting lots of suggestions coming in already.
Yeah, I don't want to do it. Make a model says do a Death Star. No, I don't want to do sci-fi. I want to keep it simple.
Yeah, but he also says a 1/12th Death Star, and that means it would be about 56 miles across or something. It's you've been suggested to do the HK Lancaster. A sub, because we haven't done a sub for a while, so you could do a sub. 72nd Airfix Wildcat, 1/35th AA gun with lots of people to paint, because we know how you like doing the lots of little people.
I did think about doing something, so we could use lots of things in the build. I was thinking about doing a little diorama, maybe actually not building just one vehicle, but build maybe 2 vehicles and a group of people to go with it or around.
How about then, if you're thinking about that, I have fond memories of building to me as 1/35th 88 flat.
Yeah, I did see that one, but yeah.
That's a really nice kit. And then if you get, say, a Horch to go with it.
Philly says he's still waiting to see Ted paint and weather a Gunpla.
Yeah, we've got our Gunpla experts now, so that's taking the mantle away from me.
Too slow, Dan.
A couple of people said the HK Lancaster, but that's going big again, isn't it, really? So
yeah, that's going big. I want to keep it sort of as you suggested there, Fox, that something like the old to me, I might go back to my roots a little bit, go back in time a little bit, build a model I built in the past, but this time build it a bit better. And pimp it up a little bit.
I have fond memories of the Horch. Was a really nice kit. It came with like 1,000 dudes.
I have built the 88 in the past, and that's a nice kit that go together. It stands the test of time. So yeah, let's get some ideas going, folks. Send them in to Ted at eModels.co.uk, and then I'll peruse and look through and have a look.
Mm.
Yeah. So
6 pounder and truck, says Trot Chard.
A ship. Well, back it says a ship. Yeah. I actually even looked at the Revell Corvette, but I don't know about that. I think that's going big again. So
Yeah, it's quite large.
yeah, it's quite
large.
I just want something that I can put on my bench, have enough room on my bench to do it. Not going to take forever to build, like this has took an eternity, given that things have been happening. So I could get it done in a few episodes for use to follow along, and it's cheap enough as well that people can pick up, because I know that people like to see these big things built, but something that you can build along with. Yeah. So
what was it? I was going to say something. Then there are some smaller 1/35 like PT boats and torpedo boats.
Yeah, there's a pivot.
Not massive. I mean, they're like they're only like this big.
Yeah, the Vosper MTB doesn't come in too big. It'll be something about that big.
That's still pretty big.
Timber's suggesting an F1 car.
Shiny, clean.
No, it's too shiny. Too shiny.
You like me, you don't do clean, do you?
I want to do some weathering as well. Yeah. I want to do weathering.
Chris Belchin says a Stuka even. Stuka, great diorama potential.
Another option, I did see there's a US cargo truck by Tamiya that's quite nice, because you can add lots to that, lots of storage and things like that. It could make a nice diorama, maybe alongside a Sherman tank or something like that.
Anders Eriksson says the Revell 1/35 LCM3 50-foot Jeep, 50-foot and Jeep and trailer.
Yeah.
Zesta says, how about the US Marine hovercraft, the LCAC?
All right.
Hovercraft would be interesting.
Nobody's done a hovercraft before. Monkey's birthday boy just signing in. Happy birthday, Monkey!
Happy birthday, Monkey.
Have we got to sing it? We've got to sing it now, haven't we?
Yeah, you sing it. I'll mind.
Well, it's locked on you, so you can sing it, so, Fox. That's all right.
It's not locked on me.
Stephen Rolfe says, hi guys, in and out tonight. Battery's dying. Spent the evening watching old YouTube videos about the Human League. Bye. Bye. Hello. Bye.
Carl at Making Model says, what about a tooth?
Make a tooth.
The whole tooth and nothing but the tooth.
Yeah. So Chris has had discussions on the tooth. We're discussing teeth and feet before we came in. Yeah. So anyway, I know you're all putting your suggestions in chat at the moment, and I'll probably forget them as soon as I turn the stream off tonight. Send them to ted@emodels.co.uk, and I'll have a think.
Yeah, it was nice to get some email.
Yeah.
And if Ted chooses your suggestion, he'll send you a sticker. I've decided he'll send you a sticker.
Yeah, send you a sticker.
Yeah.
So yeah, as I say, it's going to be a couple of weeks yet before I can even even think about starting. So yeah, lots of time to peruse and mull it, chew it over. Cool.
We do some stickery things and stuff.
Yeah, we'll do the. I do have.
I got them out earlier and then forgot to get them out.
I do have stickers, but it involves standing on a chair.
No,
yeah,
don't do standing on a chair.
Standing.
We have the stickers here.
I have a sticker there as well.
Are we doing the 2 for 1 again?
Yeah, we'll do the 2 for 1.
Yep. So we'll send you. We're just doing one. So we'll send whoever gets this. We'll send a big sticker and a small sticker.
One of each.
Yep, one of each.
Yay, stickery time.
Do we have any questions?
Have
you sent any questions yet?
I did notice a question in there earlier, but I don't know if it was one we used last week. I don't remember. It might not have got deleted.
I've got a question.
Let's have a look. We've done that one. We've done that one. Yeah. Nobody sent us any question and answer. So we'll have to make one up.
I've got one.
Have you got one?
Yeah, I'll go on.
Okay.
Yeah. Right. Question for the double sticker tonight.
Well, before Ted does, remember to refresh.
Yeah, refresh.
Drag. Give it a second. Refresh your screen and drag. So it's up to date.
Are you sure it's an actual question you're reading out, not someone who's won the sticker?
Yeah.
Yeah. I've got the question here before.
The question tonight is, where does John live?
It might mean a quick
question for tonight is, where is Sergeant Bones?
It might mean a quick Google or a trip to the eModels site for a double sticker. For a double sticker winner, tonight's question is milliput. How big in ounces is the pack?
Oh,
Go. How big in ounces is the pack of Milliput? That's what Chris showed
you said, because I've got no idea.
That's
No,
what
I did the black one, not the white one.
yeah, they're all the same size. But Chris showed it.
I don't know, so you'll have to keep an eye on the answers and see who gets it right first.
28, 16, 42, 30, 35 houses.
There we go. Michael Brown says 4. It's 4 ounces.
That seems like it should be more than that.
Yeah. 4 ounces, 4 handles.
Yeah, 4 ounces. 4 ounces.
Michael Brown, send your email, ted@emodels.co.uk, and just say you won the big and the small sticker, and we'll get the sent out to you.
Double sticker winner tonight. Well done.
Yep. Now we do have a backlog of stickies.
Yeah.
At the moment, because my car's dead and Ted's not had a chance to go to the post office, so we still got a backlog of stickers to send out. We send out the stickers from our end. The mugs come from the guys at eModels. So we've still got a bit of a backlog of stickers to send out at the minute. So be patient with us.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we'll get that as soon as we can.
Yes.
So good. Yeah. Right. What's that? Is that right? We're just sitting to the end of the show now.
Yeah. Okay. I've got some water to drink, so I'll just. Yeah. I've got my back scratcher, so I'm happy.
Yeah. Michael Brown says, "Yay! Finally a big sticker." Cheers, guys.
Yeah.
I'm sure everybody's got stickers by now. Anyway. Everyone's got stickers. Everyone's got a sticker. Tell us.
Yeah,
we haven't done a mock.
Yeah, when we get these models finished, we'll have a nip down to eModels, and we'll get Pete and we'll get him in a corner, and we'll go
to make a brew.
Yeah, get him to make a brew, and we'll talk to him about some merch because he keeps saying he's going to get some merch.
Are we doing a mug giveaway? We don't have to do anything for this, so we should do. we can palm this off on the guys at the store. So.
Yeah, I forgot about the mug. Remember at the mugs as well. So as Mark Dale says, you can buy these mugs at eModels for cost price and free postage. They don't charge anything extra for you to buy a mug. And if you follow the instructions, you'll get one free postage as well.
Yeah.
Yes. Now we have to come up with a question now, don't we?
No. What a question now?
I don't know if Mark was talking about mugs or stickers. Can he buy one? But you can normally get a sticker if you're putting in an order for eModels. Just ask them for a sticker as well. They'll generally chuck one in the box for you.
Yeah, just put a note on it saying, "Please send me a sticker."
Yeah, you can also as well. Just you can try it on. Just send them a message on the contact.
Try it on.
Try it on. Say, can we have a sticker?
Yeah, the guys on the show didn't want to send me a sticker, so can you?
Yeah, try it on.
He means, can I buy a sticker? Yes. They used to be available on the site for 1 penny, but if they're still there, I'm sure they're around. But yeah, order something from them.
Go to the eModels webpage, the contact form. Put on it. Chris said, "Hey Pete, Chris said I could have a sticker. Can you send?"
Ted said that it was all right for Fox to send me a sticker.
Hey. Right, I'm going to look for a fun trivia question to ask for a mug. Okay, here we go. No idea if this is true or not, but is everybody ready?
Yeah, before we do that, Andrew Leary says the eModels page for milliput superfine white putty is wrong. I don't know. The superfine might be a different weight to the other one. I don't know. Is that different?
I don't know. But
it's too late now anyway.
It was just the black one that Ted had in his hand. Lord Barkley III says, "How heavy is Canada?"
Oh, Phil Kit says they're on the site for 5 and 15p. Must be inflation. They've gone up a bit.
Yeah.
So you can get the little sticker for 5p and the big one for 15.
There you go.
Get both for 20p.
Yeah. I'm really appreciative of Zazda's question, how heavy is Canada? That's a brilliant question. Lord Barkley III says, they said free models.
Yeah, they'll probably notice that.
Yeah, they might not get with that. Yeah. Troughton Charles says, dear models, please give me all the things Chris and Fox Ted said so. Anyway, let's do a question for a mug.
Worth a try. It's worth a try.
It's worth a try. Right, so here we go. It's kind of a lateral thinking question, but it's actually it's either really obvious or not obvious at all.
Oh dear.
And I've gone to a random question site. So here we go. Is everybody ready? What continent, it's geography, what continent has the fewest flowering plants? Go. If you have to look that up, then it's just sadness.
Yeah,
What
I think I might know the answer to that.
Fewest flowering plants.
Really?
No. Hawaii's not a continent. Hawaii.
Well, it doesn't count because they've got planets.
There we go. We have the first one correct is Adam Clark with Antarctica.
That's what I was going to go for.
Because Antarctica is all ice.
I bet there's probably like 7.
Yeah, there's little tiny. There are some areas where there's little tiny shrubby things, but there's not many. So yes, Antarctica. So Adam Clark, well done. You need to send an email to ted@emodels.co.uk and say, "Woohoo! I won a mug."
If you don't put the woohoo bit in,
it doesn't count.
Doesn't count.
You got to show motivation, and then we'll send that on to the guys at eModels, and they'll get the mug sent out to you.
Meatballs in Bovington says space.
Hawaii is not a continent.
Sergeant Bone says my backyard.
Mine's a bit like
kicking himself because he said the Arctic.
Is the Arctic opposite to the
Arctic's up, Antarctic's down.
Is it right?
But is the Arctic a continent? Because it's just ice. It's not ground, is it?
Yeah, I think one of them is and one of them isn't.
Antarctica's a continent because it's got land underneath it.
Isn't that why polar bears don't eat penguins? Because one lives up.
They can't get the wrappers off.
Yeah. A few people said Africa, and it's like, how can Africa be like the least?
Because it's got lots of deserts and stuff in it.
Like, you know how everybody's brain works in here. If they come along here, yeah.
Making Models gives an answer. He says on Antarctica there's only 2 plants: hairgrass. I get that on a Wednesday. Hairgrass and pearlwort.
And now you know.
Yep, the Arctic is a sea, says Osric 9000.
Yeah.
Antarctica has no land. The ice floats, but the ice is on top of the continent of Antarctica. There's land under the ice cap. The ice cap's bigger than the land.
What I want to know is, you know how submarines, one over there on the bench, you know how submarines always circumnavigate the globe undetected. What I want to know is, whenever one bursts through the ice, there's always somebody there to photograph it.
It's amazing.
Well, they let them out first, don't they?
How?
The torpedo tubes.
Special ice tubes. Michael Jackman says Antarctica is the only continent not represented on the Olympic flag. You don't get many Antarctic, running teams.
Yeah, they'd be damn good at ice skating, now, wouldn't they?
Yeah.
Winter Olympics to be sorted.
Oh yeah. Dadster says I think Svalbard, etc., and the Arctic. Yes, they're up in the Arctic Circle. Is Svalbard in Greenland or Iceland, or is it?
He says that's technically European, though. Yeah.
Macratista 16 says I am freezing 3.6 degrees Celsius on the Mediterranean coast. Yeah, you guys are getting all the really cold weather. We're having a nice warm winter here in the UK.
Yeah, I'm closer to the Mediterranean than you, so that must be why I'm a bit chilly.
Yeah.
Luke Loss has got a good answer for you. He says, "How do you know they always photograph it?"
Yeah, but there's always somebody there to photograph.
But there might not. But there might be lots that come up when there's nobody there. Then they don't photograph it, and you don't know it happened.
Yeah, USS Nautilus surfaces through the ice for the first time. There's somebody there to photograph it. How do they know? So, but how's the guy with the camera got out in the first place from under the ice?
It's like whenever you watch like a program where there's some presenter and they're doing something like climbing a mountain or something, or climbing a 1,000-foot tree, or they're dangling off the top of a skyscraper, and they're saying, "I'm going to climb to the top of this thing," and they get there, and here we are on the top, and I'm just climbing up now, and isn't it brilliant? I'm thinking, yeah, but the cameraman's already there
with all his equipment as well.
It takes all the edge away from the fact you've just climbed up because the cameraman just got there before you to film you getting up. So
yeah, and he was carrying a camera and a load of bags and stuff as well. So he's doing a lot harder work.
Yeah, so it's like I never worked with that because I always think, yeah, but you're not the.
Yeah, the cameraman's always all the way up there as well to power the sticks, the clamps in for the ropes and things. So you're not going to fall off, is he?
Macratista says it's the first time in 15 years. He's living there 15 years, and he's scratched his car on the ice for the first time he's been living there. Chindle88, hello, welcome, says Svalbard is in Norway. That's what I thought. He says it's also technically illegal to die there, bizarrely.
Well, what are they going to do to you?
I think you have to move. You have to take you somewhere else if you're about to die.
Yeah, but what happens if you die? They can't lock you up for dying.
Reasons.
You get in trouble for it, but you're dead.
Yeah, it's so cold though. Your body's not going to rot, so people just think you're asleep.
I actually saw something recently as to why it's actually illegal to die in there, and I can't remember what it was, but it actually bizarrely it made sense. I'm like, oh yeah, that kind of makes sense.
Svalbard. How do you say it? Svalbard.
Right, we've got 5 minutes, Chris. We'll just let Ted carry on with that.
Just that one word, yeah. Maybe they call your family.
Don't forget, people, if you want to give us all your Spanish and strange foreign words that Ted can't possibly pronounce.
Always a winner. Yeah, just to kill the last 15 minutes.
We're desperate now.
Yeah, thanks very much.
Ted hasn't got the button either, has he? So he can't have technical difficulties and cancel the stream early because.
I'm breaking up. I'm breaking. I can't hear you, folks.
I'm on the train.
Yeah, I can't hear you. I'm gonna have to go. Cool. Right. Yep. Any last question? Any questions from you guys? So we need topics to talk about. We've done Casio watches. Have we done 80s TV? No.
I actually really want an old Casio LED watch. I don't know why.
I don't know why either.
There we go. We got some things for you to say.
Do you get them a bit disappointed when they come in, Chris, with a Casio watch and say, "Can you fix that?" And you said, "No."
Well, we always have a look. It might be possible to. Some of them you can, but not very many.
But your mechanical clocks, not digital clocks, aren't
Yeah. Well, we do a lot of digital stuff as well. But the problem is that they run on huge batteries, or huge by today's standard, and batteries work by chemical reaction, and that chemical reaction keeps happening until it's all gone. So you've got this battery that's been sitting in the drawer for 30 years, and it's been corroding. And like when you get a torch and take the back off and it all white powdery stuff comes out. Imagine that inside a watch. That's what happens, and it does bad things.
But if the battery wasn't knackered, there's still probably not much you can do because it's electronic, and you can't really go in there with your tweezers and your jeweler's eye and your telescope for looking at small things and go, jab, I can't fix it.
Not so much, no.
Yeah.
Mark Dale's got to go slightly early. Great show as always. Thanks, chaps. See you all next time. Bye.
Bye. We have some things for you to say, Ted. Trotton Child has got one for you.
Easy one, that's English.
Anti-disestablishmentarianism. Sorry.
Really.
Marquista says, cayendo una cuertecaya.
That's not bad. I don't know what it means, so I'm a bit nervous about it.
Right. Ted said it, not us. It's fine.
Frankel says, can old Revel models be salvaged?
No.
No.
Most new Revel models can't be salvaged, so no.
Yeah.
You probably can. It's just the older they get, the more work you have to put in. It's probably quite rewarding if you can. But I've come across, I say that's probably more than you can salvage old Airfix model, because old Airfix models are even worse.
Troughton Child says, salvage one, short-lived 80s TV show from America. I remember that.
Don't remember that.
Yeah.
Andrew says, do you service Rolexes?
Yes, but not on the eModels stream. That's
yeah. I know, Ted, build the 180th scale HMS Victory. I dare you to try.
I have built the Victory before, many, many years ago. Well, I'll probably say I built it. I think my dad built it, and I just happened to be with him. So does that count? Yeah. Whether it was the 1/180 scale, I don't know, but it was big. Well, it was big when you were little anyway.
Yeah. Anders Ericsson says, applying decals, need help to get it as invincible as possible. What do you need help with? What's your boggle? Where's your problem? What are you having difficulty with?
Microsol type.
Yeah. Yeah, he needs to get it as invisible as possible. Yep. Yeah.
You need your decal setting solutions.
Yeah. Once again, I know people do say you can apply decals over a matte surface, but do you really want to take that chance? Yeah. Probably just a clear coat just in the area of the decal. Yeah, if you can get your matte surface clear as smooth as you possibly could, you could apply it straight. But
yeah, I mean, I tend to do a lot of gloss coating before decals purely because I'm going to do things like pin washes. But I've done decals on matte coats on flat paint. Don't do it over a matte coat, but you can do it over just bare paint. The only reason you want to do any kind of protective coat really is like I say, if you're going to do a pin wash anyway, let's put a gloss coat on there. But sometimes I do a gloss coat before decals because decal setting solutions can eat into acrylic paints. Sometimes, not often, but they can affect them. So sometimes I do, sometimes I don't.
Anders actually says, do you apply gloss clear coat before and after?
All right. You don't have to, but there's no harm if you do. You do need to apply a clear coat after you've done your decals, either gloss or matte, to protect them. Because once they're on there, you want to lock them in and protect them from any weathering you can do over the top. There's no harm. I mean, I've done it before. I've gloss coated a model. Here's one reason I will gloss coat a model. I've built a thing. I've got to do some panel lining, some like pin washes, but I've got to put some decals on. So what I'll do is I'll gloss coat the whole thing. I'll then put the decals on. And then, depending on the model, I may then gloss coat over the decals again, but just over the areas where there's decals. Because when that's done, I can go ahead and do my pin washes. I've already gloss coated the bits where there are no decals when I did the first gloss coat, so it saves me a bit of time. But
yeah, you can always matte coat over a gloss coat and make it matte, but you can't go the other way around, can you? So
you can.
Yeah, you're never going to get as shiny as it was before over a matte.
Yeah. I mean, you can put decals straight over just bare paint. It's not a problem as long as the bare paint surface is smooth and not lumpy bumpy. If it's been weathered or it's a really lumpy paint surface, then yeah, you probably want to put a gloss coat over it. But it's not essential. You don't have to do a gloss coat.
Ted, you got another word to say?
Yeah, I was just trying to go through it. Mönchengladbach. Mönchengladbach. Oh, it's Mönchengladbach.
There you go. I was waiting for it to click.
Sorry, I don't do football.
You got another one?
No.
Michael Jackerman says, if it's a matte finish, I apply a gloss coat, then the decals and spray a matte coat over it. If you've had a matte varnish on the model and then you want to put a gloss down, because a matte varnish is a rough surface and that may give you issues with the decal. If it's a very valuable model that you spent 1 million hours making, if you want to be careful, stick a gloss coat on first. It can't do any harm. If you're not really that bothered, it's just a fun build, don't worry about it too much.
Yeah, I've heard of that Tamawaki Tangi. I've heard of it, but I can't say it. But
Tamawaka Tangi Hanga Kuwawa. It's just too far away for me. Kuwawa o Tamatea Turipuku Pakapiki Muanga Horonuku Pokai Wenuaki Tanatahu.
Now, do you think he typed that or did he cut and paste?
I reckon he typed it. I knew that. He knows that. Yeah.
Osric 9000 says, just to be clear, boomerang.
Yeah, but isn't that also a song from South Pacific?
What, boomerang?
No, that Taka Waka Waka. Never mind.
Fox, say my name in Spanish. I don't know what fox is in Spanish. Or wolf.
Baliquiste.
Well, I know wolf is lobo, isn't it, in Spanish? So what's fox in Spanish?
I don't know.
It'd be something lobo, I guess. I know in French it would be Reina-Lou would be my name. Reina would be my name in French.
It was cut and paste.
Yeah, cut and paste.
Tamatefak. Oh, there you go. It's 40 syllables. Tamatafaka ngi hanga ko ao. I can't even say it.
Tama mia tia turi kupukwa kakapi ki mawa nanga horu niki kuwa. Yeah. You're right, yeah.
Zorro, apparently. Zorro is fox in Spanish.
So fox is, so I'll be Zorro Lobo. Oh, that's awesome. My name in Spanish will be Zorro Lobo. Yes, get in. I like that.
Sign all your things said now.
Yeah, you'll see in future. You'll see fox crossed out and Zorro Lobo.
Zorro Lobo. What's Ted in Spanish? What's Ted in Spanish?
Yeah,
that's brilliant. I love that. That's better than Reynard Loop.
You'd probably have to have an extra R in it or an extra O at the end.
Mark says, when Master do it in a Kiwi accent. Oh, no. Tamatafaka, I can't do it. Well, it wouldn't.
Yeah, we'll have to give Will a ring. Yeah, we'll get Will on the phone.
Trot Chart says El Ted.
El Ted. Yeah, that's it. What's Ted in German? Ted.
Die Ted. Die Ted gefahren.
What's Ted in French? Ted.
What's Ted in Spanish? It's Ted.
El Ted.
El Ted.
Yes, you got to say it in a kind of 1970s sort of
El Ted.
Moustache voice. El Ted.
El Ted. El Ted.
Zolo Lobo.
Oh yeah, you're never going to live that down now, is Zorro Lobo?
I've lived it down. It's great.
You have to pay. Can you get your driving license changed for free? Zorro Lobo.
Oh,
yeah. only if he moves to wherever it was.
Vincent and Mr. Lowell says Eduardo. I'm well made with Zorro Lobo. That's fun. Making Model says Ted in Punjabi, but I don't know how you pronounce it.
Ted.
But it can read Punjabi.
Yeah, it says Ted.
Ted.
It says only Zorro. Yeah, but my surname is Wolf, so it's Zorro Lobo.
Yeah.
That's why it's on the end.
Yeah, probably go to India and be Ted.
It's pronounced Ted. I still like El Ted.
El Ted.
Yeah.
Trump says
Wolf. That's why it's the Lobo on there.
Yeah, have my moustache down here next week. El Ted.
My dad actually used to have a moustache that was down there and then down like that. He had black hair, so it was like a proper Zapata porn moustache. It was great. He shaved it once when we were little kids, and we all just ran out the room screaming because he didn't have his moustache.
Who's that strange man?
Ted in New Zealand, wouldn't it be Tid?
Tid. Hey, Tid.
Tid.
Get it, Tid.
Tid. Oh, no, bro.
Yeah, what a tiddy Tid.
Manquetista says, El inconfundible Ted. Fantastic.
Yeah.
I love our viewers. They're awesome. They're from all over the world, and they give us all the best things to say.
Yeah, go and see the great mafiosi, Ted.
If Ted was bent sideways, asks Farnacle, would he be listed?
Oh.
Get it?
Oh.
Yes, Adster says in New Zealand you'd either be Tid or Tud.
Tud?
Can I Tud? No, I think you'd be Tid.
It's definitely Tid.
Tid.
Like Tid?
Yeah.
Tid.
Yeah, you'd be Tid.
Yeah, I've got to think how well. How does
Unless it's a pictogram, any language translates Ted to Ted. You can't break Ted down. Ted is an elemental particle. He's just can't break.
A gathering of many Teds from around the world, and it just be that's Ted.
That's it. If you went into the English French for Edward, it would come as Ted.
Yeah. If you cut Ted in half, you just get two smaller Teds.
Fox, in Catalan, you'll be Guinea.
Guinea. Yeah, it's not as cool as Zorro Lobo.
No, it's not.
Still cool though. Welcome to the periodic table, Ted.
What's that other language? Yeah, not espresso. Esperanto? Yeah, espresso.
Espresso Ted's just the same.
Stephen Hills Harris says in Australia, Ted will be Bruce. G'day, Bruce.
G'day, Bruce.
I shaved my beard a few years ago, says Anders Ericsson, and my wife says, you look funny, but I can't tell what it is.
Yeah, something missing.
Something different about it, but I can't quite. No.
Can't really put my finger in it.
Took almost a day to figure it out. We have to do that one week. We'll all be clean shaven one week, and you won't be able to tell you something different about them three.
Well, those two will shave, and I'll just have extra hair to make up for it. I'll do like a Bob Ross, but on the bottom of my head. Even Scots Gaelic is Ted.
Yeah. See, don't waste any time. What's your name? You don't have to work out a translation, Ted.
And Ted. And Cotista says Ted comes from Theodore.
Yeah. Plus, it was always dead easy to type out on one of them Literaset things. You know, you turn the handle, you click your button.
Is that when you like you writing your name on the inside of your police helmet, Ted?
Yeah, it's Ted.
In fact, I like to like this image that somewhere there's an old policeman with like help tip Ted written in little
the D would be
writing letters.
The D would be backwards. It'd be Teb.
Ted. Ober. Bless.
Are we finished?
Yes. Where is your helmet, Ted?
It's in the loft.
Oh.
No, I can get it easier now because I've got a ladder.
Because that means when you're doing your filming, you can be wearing it.
I have worn it before, haven't I? Well,
Yeah, I was asking.
we've
We
seen
haven't seen it on the stream for a while. We haven't had the Ted helm.
Oh, I must get my helmet out sometime.
Right. Make him Ted in Latin is Marcus.
Oh yeah, I like that one.
Really?
Yeah, I like that one.
See, all I've got now is Marcus
Super
Phoenix. All I've got now is Marcus Phoenix going, come on. Doesn't work for me, that one.
Well, while I go and find the Dino tape on the Dino machine out to start typing out Ted.
Next week, Ted. Looking forward to seeing you in the helmet. Says Anders.
Right, I'll try and get it out for next week then. If it were, I think I've got the flat cap as well.
The proper officer.
The flat cap for driving pandas. Anyway, I think we're about run out of time now. So yeah, I should go practicing writing Ted in all different languages.
Carl says thanks, Marcus, Zorro, and the other one, or El Dead on the internet.
Next week we'll look at translating Chris into other languages.
Yeah,
Chris.
Right. Yeah, we'll wind it up for tonight. We'll go back and do something else on the workbenches for the next week until we come here next Monday as well. But great. It's thanks to having you all along tonight. There's been quite a few in tonight as well.
Just so you know, by the way, Adam Clark did put his email as "Woohoo! I won a mug."
Yeah, he did. Yeah,
it's wrong, but we'll let him off.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I've just got the email come through. Yeah. So, thanks very much. I look forward to all your suggestions at ted@emodels.co.uk for what I can build after the submarine, and we'll peruse them and think about them as the next few weeks go on. Well, thanks once again for joining us, and we'll see you all next week. Same time, same back channel, and all the rest of it. So, bye for now. And remember,
adios.
Good night.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Yeah, bye.